Not yet, not yet. Wolfie, what it is?
It is, man. That's what it is right now. Is
It
what it
is
is,
what it
and
is.
is living. All right.
We got the joint practices starting. We're gonna rap about that along with some other good stuff, and we're gonna talk AFC North Goats coming back at you on the Terradome.
Turn it up, Jado.
Got my little scary intro. I like the piano.
I actually think that's a really good intro. I think it's a top notch intro. Actually, I believe that's the best one you've had so far.
You like it? Well, thank you, Wolfie. Yeah,
It's not over the top. It's not too retro. It's kind of like the strings are perfect. Even the graphic you have is pretty darn good with it too. That's actually a really good.
Thank you, Wolfie.
That's a really good intro.
I be working at it, man. My wife be like, "What are you doing at that computer?" I said, "If I can just tell it to do this," and then you got to try to get your logo on there and have it moving, and then so you mess it up.
Well, you did that all yourself?
Yeah,
that's impressive.
I put all that together. It's a stock background, but the graphic and my logo and everything is, it's got to be clipped and put in there piece by piece, and it's probably a kid somewhere sitting at Stanford University that could do it in 2 seconds. But hey, man, this I went to public school, man, and I just did undergrad, and that was years ago. I'm trying to just click here. Ooh, that didn't work.
Hey, well, you thought of it though. That was your idea from your brain, and you brought it to the screen. Someone else may have been able to do it, but they weren't going to do it.
I got so much in my brain, but I can't make it. I can't, as Ray Charles said, I can't make it what it do, baby. It's gonna take a little time. It's like Ray Charles starting off with "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star." Damn. I got a couple songs I like. Wolfie, we got people in the chat, man. Let me do a little something different. I gotta reward my up and comers. Pause, who were here early and just shouting them out. Let me see, where am I gonna go here? Shout out to the chat. I'm gonna go traditional here. Goes a little something like this. Already the chat done showed up and showing out. We got 49ers throwback in the building. What's going on there? 49ers throwback. He says good morning to the faithful. The beautiful, the lovely, the vivacious, hi, Tara. Good morning. Good morning. She has tuned in. She was almost number one on this, but she's number one in my heart.
She's number one in your heart, man.
Yes, number 5 on the field, number 1 in your hearts. That's how they always introduce the legends. Hi, Tara. And speaking of number 1, you got Red Jet Shell. She has landed the jet. Maybe it's for a gas up. Maybe it's to screen the pre-arrivals or something. But the jet has landed. The jet is on the runway. And I'm sure she's going to taxi anytime soon. Who is my main man, 50 grand, CFO, Rockefeller Records. Carly Young is in the building. It is 8-7. Let my noise make it. Man, thank you. Thank you for reminding me. It is August 7th, 8-7. It is Dwight Clark there. Y'all shout out Dwight Clark, number 87. The catch, sprint right option pass. I think I was 11. It was 11, 19. I was watching it on the floor with my dad and all the guys around, man. That launched the dynasty. Shout out to the late great Dwight Clark. Papa J is in there building. Papa J. Checked him and David McNiner and all the boys out on, I called them the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. They won last night, man, and that thing went on They tried to stay football. David tries to stay football, but Levi will get in there, and then Kenny will start talking about dangerous snakes. This thing went on. We started getting on Florida Man, and it just went all on a tangent. But that was a great program, man. Shout out to y'all, man. And let me see who else I got here. Jess, East Coast Red and Gold podcast. Jess, you need to come on mine. Pause, and I shall enter onto yours. You know how we do. We've been doing it, I think, 2 years now. Preseason, we get into it. It's wonderful. Or she'll have a guest who I have to eviscerate. But nonetheless, no, Jess is my girl, man. Her, Ty Austin, Bex, Matty Ice, all of them, man. Good to see y'all. Good to be seen and not viewed. Amen. Amen. Scrolling down some more. Let me see who's in here. Dion is in the building. Dion. Niner Gang Podcast. The Light Skin Mafia Don. What's up, man? What's good, TD and the 49er faithful? Good to see you, Dion. Tommy Huxley on guitar, ladies and gentlemen. Tommy Huxley. And he hits us with the Hey Dummies. I don't know what that is, man. Maybe it's a little you problem, not a me. Go ahead, get over there, Tommy Huxley. 73. Old school morning to you. He got that Roger Craig, who is so deserving of being in the Hall of Fame as an Avatar, man. Number 33. We just call him Superman back in the day. He was Superman back in the day. Good to see you, 73. Old school, representing. And I'm gonna fade the music out. Fade it. Chicka. And it goes a little just like that.
Smooth. That was a smooth transition.
That was smooth. I'm having a day. You know, when the jumper falls early and you shooting and it's good, you know. Hey, yeah. Shout out Joe Boyd just came on. Hey, Joe Boyd, good to see you. Moody needs to be released. And a perfect segue Joe has given us. We're going to talk some camp news and views. Joint practices begin on Dwight Clark Day today. We will be joint practicing with the Denver Broncos, or as I like to call them, the Denver 49ers. I think we've given them half a roster there, Wolfie.
It definitely seems like that every time. Them and a couple of other teams, like the Commanders, seem to pick up a few 49ers guys. Yeah,
the Washington 49ers. Miami was like that. Remember a couple years ago, Wolfie, Miami, we gave everybody to Miami. Miami said, good Lord, is it anybody that we don't know over there?
I think they got what? They got Mostert. They got our running backs, really. Like Junior, Mostert, Breida. It's just like every running back we got rid of, they picked up for sure.
They were getting everybody. If we had it, they took it. Or a lot came from the Trey Lance deal too. They brought in Tariq Hill. Who was the receiver that they got? Craycraft. Remember Craycraft was over there, and everybody just like a coach. We gave him Mike McDaniel. We just giving up stuff. Yeah, giving away like a crazy used car salesman. It used to be a used car salesman in Richmond. His commercial said, "I'd give them away, but my wife won't let me." And you get in there, went there and got a lemon.
Yeah, no doubt.
So camp news kind of derives around a lot's going to be coming out on these joint practices, but right now I'm looking at the injured, and it was breaking news that we have a injured pectoral muscle tear to who was it? Givens, I think. Let me pull it up on
Kevin Givens.
Yeah, man. And when that, you know, sometimes you get an owie, sometimes it's a sprained ankle, you know, a little pulled hamstring. When you tear that pec, man, it ain't a couple days and some ice and rest. That pec tear is, Wolfie, I wouldn't be surprised. That's the season. We might see him again around Christmas.
Yeah, that's
maybe
about the time. Yeah,
maybe those pec tears, man. I shared the story. I tore mine in sophomore year in college. Sophomore going to junior. Yeah. And in the weight room in spring, man, just regular day, 275 on the bench. I had just, moved up, getting my reps in. I think I'm gonna do it about 5-6 times, man. And on that third rep, I just
275, that's it?
Well, I was moving up. It was 275 to get to eventual 350, but you go in a diamond or a pyramid, 10, 8, 6, get to 1. And I was supposed to be doing my 6, and hey, it said, no, you ain't. no, y'all better get it.
Nowhere, man.
And at first, the guys was looking at me kind of laughing. They was like, "Oh man, come on, man! Everybody know you can throw that up." I said, "No, I'm not playing. Get this." And it sidelined me for a good.
Did you hear the sound and everything when it snapped? Did you hear it?
I felt it. I honestly felt it. I don't remember hearing it, but man, I felt that sucker right there. And it still looks. You can still see visibly there's a little dent there. It never heals. You'll never be as strong as you were. And I
imagine you going,
oh! I was 3/4 of the way up, and that thing just said snap. I was ooh. They said, man, go ahead, push the weight up. Everybody know I'm not playing. But yeah, man, shout out to Givens, which has made it so that we got to bring in yet another defensive tackle into the camp because we're now short a defensive tackle. So, that it has ramifications down the line is what it is. And this coupled with, I think Alfred Collins was a little bit nicked up as well. And I was hearing great things about CJ West, but we drafted these guys, and now you still kind of we can't get enough receivers and defensive linemen is what I'm looking at. Wolf.
Seems like we can't get enough of anything before they get hurt. I mean, like it just seems like everything there's no consistency with any position except for quarterback. It seems with like injuries left and right. These injuries are getting really out of hand early on. So maybe it's to try to look at optimistically. It's just in an optimistic way, being like, okay, we're getting the injuries out of the way now, so that way in the season they're not going to be as injured. I'm sure that's not how that works, but I'm just trying to think of something to be like, okay, get the bad juju, bad feelings out of the way.
Yeah, just then, get that out the way, and then now we're serious.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know, Wolfie. I don't know. So this stuff can turn into a trend quick. I don't know if is Santa Clara over ancient Indian burial ground?
Something's in the water, dude.
Something.
Because it's not just it's not just the trainers, because we've had multiple different trainers, and despite that, they all can't be that bad. Where every single one we're just hiring, janitors to be our trainers here. That can't be the case. Like I'm sure they go through an actual process for these trainers, but like every year, injury. The only injury year was in 2023, where we were like bottom 5 of injuries, which was great. I think it was
very deep into the play. We almost went to the Super Bowl that year, right?
We went to the Super Bowl that year, and I think it was you that brought it up. I don't know who brought it up, but somebody said that our old trainer from 2023 went to the Falcons. We didn't bring him back. We didn't bring that guy back because he knows what's in the water in Santa Clara. He knows.
Yeah, let that guy go. Let's bring in somebody else, and use it a janitor or something. Don't check his degrees or nothing like that. Yeah. No need for that. Just come on in and a couple of ice baths, and you got it.
Something's going on, and it can't. It has to be. Someone brought up that like maybe the practices are just rigorous. Maybe that's the case, but I've heard every year that the practices are different. Like there's different kinds of practices. They get like we just recently players had more breaks than usual.
They do.
So that also doesn't make any sense because this year players are getting more breaks than previous years, and yet we're still having injuries. So that is not the case. It's something else. Like it's just I truly honestly have no idea with these injuries why it's always us every single year. There really is no definitive explanation for us to cling to. It's whatever you want to. I guess it's whatever you want it to be. I can't debate it with you. If you want it to be because of Kyle, I guess it's because of him. If you want it to be because of the trainers, fine. If you want it to be because of the Indian burial ground situation, go right ahead because there is nothing pointing directly at anything saying, hey, this is the reason why these players are constantly getting hurt. It's just bad luck. That's really just what it is. It's just that we're just constantly in that situation for me.
And what happens too, Wolfie, what I really don't like seeing, and again, it's by happenstance, I'm assuming, but a player will be hurt so long in Santa Clara, in with us, and then he goes to another team, and then you see him in the Super Bowl or something like McKinnon. He went from us to the Chiefs, and hey, lo and behold, hey, look who's running the ball in the Super Bowl. Look who's healthy all year. He's like, how does this happen? What is it? Are they
better offensive linemen? So like the contact isn't as much. That's probably it. So like less contact is better. Better holes create less contact.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Anything to blame the offensive line.
Yeah, it's Meanwhile, I was watching who was John Chapman, and John Chapman is the most ardent Brindle hater in all of content creation. He has broken down film, which I have used, showing Brindle turning around, looking at people and stuff. And John Chapman said, I gotta give it its just due. And they love Brindle. Let me try to find out what it is that they're seeing. Brindle is one of the most durable 49ers and has played the most consecutive snaps of any of the players on the San Francisco 49ers. He hasn't he's playing like 1,000 snaps. And so, why he can't,
transfer that ability to another player that shouldn't get hurt. Yeah, like Ben Barch. Transfer that to Ben Barch. All right, so we get a new center.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, but if durability is like your number one factor, I understand availability is the biggest ability, but like you could probably find a 65th best offensive lineman that can play, all the games and stuff, but obviously not that good. Just because he's available all the time, I don't think that's a good enough excuse because he's just still not good enough to be our center. Like regardless of his being healthy, but I mean, that could be a reason why for sure, like because of that durability and you can rely on him, but it's like you're also relying on a second string. You know what I mean? To be
a durable second stringer trumps a injured starter.
Less durable potential.
Player. A not so durable but better, higher caliber guy, and that's kind of crazy math. But
that's the only thing that adds up. I mean, that would make sense. I can see the 49ers being like, okay, with the injuries we have and stuff, that let's just go with something. At least have somebody on the field, right?
Somebody. Remember last year we couldn't joint practice with the New Orleans Saints because we didn't have enough healthy bodies out there to do the joint practices. Everybody was so hurt. They were like, hey, well, we'll just cancel joint practices this time. Play the preseason game and we'll count it all. We check this block. Those injuries. And segueing into it, he said Givens wasn't a starter, and that's a good segue into this. This was the 2025 San Francisco 49ers unofficial depth chart. And Wolfie, I had a couple of surprises here. As you see, listed amongst the starters at defensive tackle, Kevin Givens.
So everyone's like, what? I guess the only thing you could do is just ignore it because obviously he can't play. So don't even like whatever you're like, if you're panicking, oh, we're putting a guy out there with a torn back, that's not happening. Okay,
Yeah,
so,
that's not. He's gone. He's gone.
yeah.
And this,
So
and this says as of what is that August 5th or 6th? August 5th.
August 5th. This happened August 4th, I believe. This, according to this, or this could have been earlier. I don't know, but I have an article here from August 4th talking about his injury. I don't know when he injured it.
And they put this out. I sometimes over the time just don't match up. But I had some questions. And these aren't going to be your starters for preseason. Obviously, they would, they're going to give the work to those who they need to see the work. But preliminarily, provisionally, I should say, this is what we're looking at as starters, as if it were today. If it were an actual game, this is how I'm taking it. If it were an actual game as of today, these are who.
This is what the lineup would be.
And
that
so
makes sense.
Yeah. So what do you think of how they're viewing? We'll start on the defense. You got Mykel Williams, no surprise. Kevin Givens isn't there, so it would be, I'm thinking, Kalia Davis at the left defensive tackle with Jordan Elliott out there and Nick Bosa as our starting. I don't like how far back CJ West is.
Yeah, but you also got CJ West would be right behind Kalia Davis, and if Kalia Davis is taking over Kevin Givens, then CJ West would be the second spot then. See what I'm saying? So like if you take out Kevin Givens, push up Kalia Davis, you're pushing up CJ West.
From what I'm hearing, I would like CJ West to be the starter.
The starter? Yeah, I wouldn't mind that either. Like, I mean, give him the and nothing but good things about the guy. My also if you guys are concerned about the starting D tackle situation, Mykel Williams is going to move inside on third downs if they were to use him. So Bryce Huff would come up as that starting lefty tackle D end.
Yeah.
Third down. So really it'd be like Mykel Williams, Jordan Elliott, Nick Bosa, and Bryce Huff on third downs, while the run stoppers on first and second down, like Jordan Elliott, obviously more of a run stopper. Kalia Davis, I really honestly don't know what he is. Nick Bosa, obviously all three downs, and Mykel Williams will be inside on the third down spot. So I see what they're doing here, and a lot of people are panicking about already. I can tell just based on the comments we got, like Kevin Givens there. Why is this guy starting there? But I see what they're doing. Like this is from like first down on. Like
this is base. This is base personnel. This is what we're looking at as of August 5th, and it's the unofficial. Notice how they drop unofficial depth chart.
Yeah,
so it's wiggle room in there, and we got about a month away from the start. Right, our first game going to be the 8th, I think. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, the 7th of September.
I do agree with you. I would rather see CJ West at that starting spot. You might as well. He's looking great. Give him that starting spot, put him there, and then when you move Mykel Williams inside, you can obviously put him in the back burner, or whatever. Or move Jordan Elliott in the back burner.
George Elliott out and bring him in. Yeah,
do something like that. But so that's the only thing I disagree with here is just the CJ West should be above Kalia Davis. Which
Kalia's another one. Isn't he always hurt too?
He's always hurt. He's not that great. He's all right. He's a good depth guy. And that's what he is, a depth guy, not a starter.
Yeah.
And I'd much rather give that. I understand that he's a rookie and stuff, but like it's one rookie, well, I guess two rookies on this D line. But Mykel Williams has shined as a good edge rusher, run stopper on the edge from what I've heard. Kalia Davis, I've heard, is doing really good on the inside. You know, I think you should give CJ West that starting position at that left tackle situation there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not. I don't. That's the only thing. Everything else, I'm totally fine with. Like everything else seems perfect to me.
I think it'll shake out like that. I would like Alfred Collins to give us more to supplant Jordan Elliott. He's
that's kind of disappointing
coming in, so you know. Yeah, hey, Alfred Collins, show me a little something. He's got to show improve in these preseason games.
Yeah.
If he's not banged up, I think he was a little bit banged up. I haven't looked at that injury report in a couple of days, but
that's why he gets kind of a pass, though, just a little bit. And I do agree. Like, it's kind of so far, it's been a little bit disappointing. Like, you kind of expected him to like hit the ground running.
Yeah.
But with his injury, he wasn't there for OTAs, mandatory mini camps, or anything like that. Really couldn't get integrated with the system and stuff like that. So I'm going to give him like about a month or so to kind of start get rolling. But I will definitely say, like, from what I've heard from one-on-ones and things of that nature,
yeah,
it's been kind of disappointing. Like, I haven't heard enough good things about Alfred Collins. Honestly, I don't think I've heard anything about Alfred Collins.
I haven't either. You know,
well, I guess it's a good thing, but
he's just out there, not just taking up space, and that's what he is, a space taker upper. You know, he's not gonna be your polished pass rushing. We call it war daddy. That's probably going to be more inside war daddy. It's probably going to be more your CJ West, and with good reason. Yeah. He's supposed to be, you know, in the role of a 5 technique, really stout against the run. 1 man cannot block me, 2 men cannot move me guy. That's his primary role. Yeah.
He takes up 2 dudes. Yeah.
That's it. And they better be on you and leave Fred and D Winters as it was, or if Nick Martin is in there, let them be free to roam. Let them be free to roam and do what they do. If 2 men can scoop you, you know, 1 of the men can scoop, block you, and then get to the second level, we got issues. Yeah.
You know, I'm a little excited. I'm glad. If there's some good to this, though, where Alfred Collins is above Evan Anderson. But Evan Anderson is more of a pass rushing D tackle, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. But Alfred Collins is above Evan Anderson, who was here last year. So there's something of, like, he's doing something right. If Evan Anderson would be above him if Alfred Collins wasn't doing something right here. It's just seeing the CJ West thing is just literally really weird. But like I said, though, we have to ignore the Kevin Givens being the starting guy, and that Kalia Davis is the number 1 and CJ West is the number 2 next to Alfred Collins. That's the reality of it, because
that Kevin Givens is not happening
because he's not playing. Take that out of your mind and just be like, okay, that's Kalia Davis right there, and CJ West next to Alfred Collins. That's what it is. But visually, it's just so kind of like, why is he back there? And like, oh wait, that's not how the order is. You have to like check yourself. Larry Kruger's guy, Sebastian Valdez.
I was gonna say, I've been hearing good things. Larry's crazy about him. Larry says,
but everyone else, apparently, according to Larry, like, he's the only one that's hyped about. And nobody else is talking about Sebastian Valdez. Like, Larry Kruger's the only guy talking about him. And Larry Kruger asked about it to Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh was like, yeah, we'll see. Like, he's the only one. Larry Kruger's the only one that's like high on Sebastian.
He's like, what about Sebastian? They call him C. He already got the nickname. They call him Seabass. What about Seabass? Is Seabass gonna be? We'll see. Yeah, it's like, calm down, Larry. You got to.
Larry's like, he loves his like undrafted 7th round, 6th round guys. He finds them and he falls in love with them. Like, that's just like his thing. He just does that for some reason. Like Connor Colby, for example, and Sebastian Valdez, and you know, he gets him hyped up, because I tell you what, because if he's right about it, it's
like the low investment. It's like if you get in on Google early in 2000, I think it was like 2003. Oh, you're a genius. Look at that. It hit. But if it's Greg Farkenwinkle's Music Factory, hey, it won't nothing but $50 for the stock.
Exactly. Well, what do you expect? He's an undrafted rookie, so of course, he wasn't going to work out. But he had upside from what I saw. So it's like you said, it's like buying that 50-cent stock, and then it just turns out it's like $50 later on, and you're like, yeah, I was right.
I told you. Yeah, I can pick them. But then it's like you're like Rodney Dangerfield. Hey, who knew? You know?
Yeah. Well, because Larry, you saw the releases recently with the not to get ahead of the depth charts. I'm sure we would talked about it with the Jake.
No, we're in there. Go ahead, say it.
They released Larry Kruger's quarterback Tanner Mordecai, so he's bummed about that.
Yeah,
they released. They released another player.
Our kicker. We had the kicker.
Greg Joseph got kicked.
A lot of people are upset about. I'm hearing Moody was booty or something in the chat.
Well, that's the thing though. It's like everyone's. I was shocked too because it's a 90-man roster, and it's kind of like, well, you couldn't find a spot for Greg Joseph, even though like Greg Joseph is technically beating Jake Moody in training camp. So that's why it was really a shocker, was the fact that he was doing so good, better than Moody was. Mason Pline, that was another one. Mason, I hate to be bipolar here, going here and over there, but Mason Pline, Larry Kruger was hyping him up, dude. Like OTAs, training camp is looking good, and then literally the next day it gets released, and you're like, I guess we're talking about Willis now. Willis is doing great.
Oh,
so it's just like he's missing right now, but I'm sure he'll get a hit. But
you'll get on somewhere.
Yeah, back to the Greg Joseph thing. That is. I wouldn't take too much to heart. A lot of people are taking it personal just because Jake Moody's on the roster and now he's our only kicker. I wouldn't. It was a bummer to see that, and you're just kind of like, but with the injuries we have and the situation we're having with those injuries and having to find new players, bring them in and stuff like that, depth wise and competition wise, I can see why they got rid of the spare kicker.
Yeah.
You know what Greg Joseph is, right? So, what he is. He's going to be there most likely still if you were to pick him back up again when you need to or whatever, especially with was told to Jake Moody was like, hey, you haven't won the competition yet. You still have to go into preseason. You still have to make these kicks. And if you miss these kicks, then we're going to go and pick up Greg Joseph and we're going to get rid of you. So I wouldn't say it's official yet where people are freaking out being like he's officially our kicker, but it just hurts to see that where like it just seems like a sign that we're keeping Jake Moody when really I don't think that's the case. I just think, like I said, I think it's because we needed more room. Not to mention, I don't think it's official. Yeah,
it got in the numbers. It was a numbers game. It's like poker. 2 kickers as opposed to a steady piece at. Like we bring in another corner or a different receiver or a different safety. For example, we didn't do it, but that's what you need in terms of numbers in camp. I don't need the kickers, 4 kickers going at it or anything like that. I do need a corner. And now with the injury of Givens, I'm going to need a new defensive tackle for the numbers as well, because these starters ain't getting out there that first game. You don't even call on me, buddy. I got on a hat, and I'm sitting this one on out.
I think these rookies are going to start. I think CJ West is going to end up being above Cleo Davis at some point. I think
solid. That's a solid assessment. I think so too. I think Alfred Collins. I'm hoping Alfred Collins will start making his push. He's going to be first or second team, one of the two. I'm hoping he will supplant Jordan Elliott, or at least his draft choice dictates that he's supposed to be that.
Yeah, second round pick. He does what Jordan Elliott is supposed to do. He's younger, and you want to work on that upside and stuff. And
yeah,
I think Alfred Collins I loved Alfred Collins coming out of the draft. I thought he was a late second round, early third round kind of type D tackle. I liked what he did, and that's exactly what he's there for. He's supposed to fill in that Jordan Elliott role. So I think at some point, CJ West and Alfred Collins are probably going to end up starting together. Maybe not week 1, week 2, but like week 3, week 4. That's when I think Alfred Collins will probably be available to take over Jordan Elliott's spot. Because like I said, he needs about a month and a half to, get implemented with the defense because he's missed so much time. But I think the first maybe 3 weeks, maybe he won't be the starter, but he'll definitely be the second for sure. So
Definitely.
That's how I see it.
I love what I've been hearing. I did a thumbnail with Upton Stout as our nickel corner over Trey Brown. But Upton's going to be in there, I believe.
Oh, yeah. You're hearing nothing. And I mean, from every corner of every content creator, from the negative to the positive ones, Upton Stout apparently has been not only the best rookie, but the best player in all of training camp.
All
these great players we have on this team. Upton Stout above Trey. That's kind of what that kind of gave me pause. Out of all of them, I look at this entire list, the Trey Brown over Upton Stout thing is a little weird.
Yeah. One of these things is not like the other. That thing standing out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that Upton Stout's definitely going to be it. Barring any injury, God forbid, blessed in the name of Jesus, don't let these kids get hurt. But I ain't hearing nothing but good things about Upton Stout. His coverage, his playmaking, his energy, his attitude. It's going to be a pleasure watching him play preseason. And it's not you're hoping he makes it. You're wanting to put on display the affirmation that is Upton Stout. And every indication is saying he's going to be that guy. He's going to be that guy.
He's going to be the nickel. Lenore's going to be outside, and Green obviously also outside as well. So we have our 3 starting corners. So that's good. That's good news. That's what it is. That's our 3 starting corners. But I think I just noticed this now, looking at this grand scope of the entire depth chart here. The only starter that's a rookie on this list is Mikael Williams. Our first round pick. So that makes sense why he's on that list. While the rest of the rookies are all second guys. So maybe they're just not making any promises. While it's we obviously know this player is going to be this dude. So maybe CJ West, Alfred Collins are going to be in the starter at D tackle.
Mm-hmm.
I could see now that I think about it, now that I just now realize this, I think they're just not making any promises or throwing it out there. Hey, you're unofficially this starting guy. So I think I just realized that. I think that's the case because I think he said CJ West balling. He's got to be the starter.
He's got to be the starter. Upton Stout has got to be the starter. Hearing good things about Nick Martin, although this listing has the corner, the nickelback in it. If it were base defense, I think Nick Martin would be the Sam over. Who did he got in there? Luke Gifford. Who's Luke? Luke Gifford.
Where is Luke Gifford?
I don't even know Luke Gifford.
Oh,
they got him as the starting Sam, but
yeah, I would think that. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't think Luke Gifford's gonna be a starter. I have heard good things about Luke Gifford, but I've heard more good things about Nick Martin, even Bethune, right? Chad Surratt. I've heard a lot of things, some good things. Stone Blanton from Larry Krueger. So take that as
that guy's good. I think Larry liked the name Stone Blanton. That just sounds like that dude play ball. Don't mess with Stone, man. Stone Blanton. He's got legendary mythical stories behind him. Oh man, he ain't as tough as Stone Blanton. I seen him strike back on his chest one day. Yeah, Stone Blanton sounds tough.
It's just another player that I think Larry's taking stock in. Because I try to, I love Larry, I respect Larry, as you know, but sometimes, if he's the only person talking about this player, I'm not gonna take too much stock into it.
Yeah, take it. What? Let's see how it plays out. Kind of who'd you say? Seabass. Yeah, he's there.
He's there. Yeah, we'll see how he does against Denver.
Yeah, we'll watch. We'll watch.
Which honestly, I don't know. I was like, did Robert Saleh just take a subtle shot at our offensive line there? Because he's saying all right, well, you think he's good against our offensive line. Let's see how he does against Denver. Okay.
Yeah.
It's did you just take a subtle shot at the offensive line?
That did come off a little bit. One could take it that way. Now that you mention it, yeah, good.
What do you mean? Like,
Yeah,
wait till
it's like, it's basically saying, wait till a real team show up here.
Yeah, that's what
Real
it
offensive lineman, and we'll see. Yeah.
But yeah, I totally agree with you. I don't think Luke Gifford's going to be that guy. Like I said, I don't think Nick Martin can be the. It plays into what I just said about how, like, I don't think they're trying to get ahead of themselves or like force anybody at the starting position, unless you're Mikael Williams. I think Nick Martin, I agree with you, would be that Sam guy, because that's really more the position. That's what that's what you mainly would ask of a Sam, to play that run down guy and run defense dude and stuff like that. And Nick Martin's super good at that. So I think I do agree that Nick Martin replace Nick Martin with Luke Gifford, and probably put Curtis Robinson more in the Will or Mike spot, because he's more of that guy than he is.
I like Curtis Robinson. I think Curtis Robinson.
He's a good depth guy, but he constantly gets hurt. He has that Dre Greenlaw durability level. It's like a low 70s in Madden. It's not very great.
And speaking of who I like, and according to this, he's way back a little bit. Jalen Graham, I thought was coming along, man. He had a really good preseason game. I think it was last year against the Raiders.
Yeah, he had a good one
preseason, and they got him all the way back there at third string. They got him third string, behind a little bit of everybody, and I thought he would have made some steps. He was right along with D Winters in that game. Yeah. Those two making plays, flying around and everything, and he never quite, kept on the upward trend, is what I'm saying. And now that's a backwards trend to be back there with Stone Blanton, I think.
Well, it's like it's the room is a situation. Like, Nick Martin has been popping off. He's looking really good there. Bethune, I've heard, is taking a huge step. It's more like you got D Winters and Fred Warner, who are your coverage guys. Curtis Robinson is a coverage guy. The thing about Jalen Graham is he doesn't really have a specific role, right? It's like he does both of them okay. Like, he's sometimes he plays really well, but I remember in that preseason, I was shocked when he was cut. So take it for what it's worth. But I could see why he was, because sometimes he wasn't the best tackler, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes he would get burned in coverage. So he's okay at both these things. He doesn't really have one special thing, where Nick Martin is, like, as we already talked about that, but Bethune is more of a Nick Martin type. So you have definitive spots for these people, while Jalen Graham's just okay at both spots. So it's I feel like that's why he's far back.
Yeah,
where to place
that. He doesn't have that specialty oomph.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a feature trait of being, this is my pass rush guy, or this is my run stuffer, or this is my a pass coverage guy. He's kind of, hey, I'm a jack of all trade. I'm a handyman. If you need me, I'll be here being handy. Special teamer. Yeah, got you.
Special teams guy. So yeah, like Stone Blanton. I don't know. I don't remember what his specialty is supposed to be, but I think it was coverage. I could have been wrong from I know Chaz Surratt's specialty is coverage. I know that.
Yeah.
Stone Blanton. I think Larry Krueger said coverage. I could be wrong, but you only need so many coverage linebackers to the point where, like, they're going to end up being the back. Or if you have a guy like Jalen Graham who's just okay at two things, they're going to be the back side of things. Because, like, Curtis Robinson's going to have more of a vet presence over Chaz Surratt or Stone Blanton. So, of course, he's going to be up the depth chart when it comes to being a coverage linebacker. D Winters, obviously, really shining in training camp. A lot of people saying great things about him. And then Fred Warner. So you have three coverage guys already. So, of course, you're going to have a couple of coverage guys back there in the third spot in the depth chart. But I think Big Brick made a point here. I don't think Jalen Graham. I think we end up keeping Blanton and Surratt, and Jalen Graham actually gets cut.
You got Jalen Graham getting cut. Ooh.
I do agree with that, because, like we said, it's better to know that you have someone that fills a spot specifically compared to someone who's just okay at two things. Everyone else on the linebacker wise are great at something, and you can build off that, and you can place them in the right positions to succeed. While Jalen Graham, you really can't place him anywhere to succeed if he's just okay, makes mistakes at both spots too consistently. So I like it, and who knows? In preseason, he might have fixed those things and becomes great.
May have, yeah.
But as of right now, just before preseason, he's the odd man out, I would say.
And, Big Brick got Bethune going to the practice squad. Could be. Could be. I'm gonna know more after I see a couple of, because we were supposed to do this exercise and like let's see who's gonna make the 53.
Yeah, before
I said,
training.
let me just see them. Let me. I gotta see how they move and if
You're
they
not
got
comfortable
little
judging a
with them.
player.
Yeah, I
I
gotta.
I need to see it for
I
myself.
need to see. Yeah, because
I think
could,
Bethune.
sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
I said they could just be sorry, but
Could just be sorry. I think Bethune makes this. I think Bethune actually makes the roster on the top of my head, and I think we end up keeping. Man, that's tough because Luke Gifford is supposed to be. Man, actually, you know what I think about it? I think this would be hard. This is going to be actually very hard to cut these linebackers. The only
where
one.
did we get Luke Gifford from? Is he a trade?
He was we signed him and we gave him a good amount of money, but he's supposed to be like a special teams ace. He was one of those guys that was super, like one of the best special teamers in the NFL last year. So we got him to be our special teams ace. So I don't see us cutting him for that reason. So he's definitely going to make this roster, I feel like, because you need that special teams ace guy. There's a few players like that we got that are supposed to be like special teams aces and stuff. And if they're special teams aces, they're making this roster for sure, because that seems like one of the biggest priorities was fixing the special teams. And it wouldn't make any sense to get rid of the guys that are supposed to be like all pros at their position when it comes to special teams. So Gifford, I think cutting down the linebackers is going to be difficult because how many linebackers do you keep? Like 5?
We usually keep 5. 5.
5 or like
5 LBs. That's what we did last year. Of course,
so that means
we had some dead weight with Devondre Campbell. We brought him in, but that would have been 5 altogether. Devondre Campbell, because we had to kind of keep a slot for when Dre Greenlaw was going to get back if he did, So we played the numbers a little funny with that, but normally it's 5. It's 5.
Yeah, I think this one's gonna this cut down is going to be extremely hard because the depth is a big deal this year, especially that linebacker spot. That one's hard. Like I already know, like DN, like defensively, we're cutting Robert Beal Jr. He's gone. Bradley N.A.'s gone. Jalen Allen's going to be a practice squad. Bruce Hector, Sebastian, probably going to be a practice squad guy. And I think our starters are going to be C.J. West, Evan Anderson. Gross Matos is coming back, so he's not on the step chart, but he will be back. Aquanu, Alfred Collins, Kalia Davis, Bryce Huff, Mikael Williams, Jordan Elliott, Nick Bosa. I think that's going to be our D line there. And I like that. I think that's good. But linebacker-wise, I mean, I like what I hear about Chaz Surratt. I like what I hear about Bland. I like what I hear about Nick Martin, Bethune, Robinson. Like, there's just, I don't, like you said, we'll see in preseason and really kind of like
they got to pop. They got to pop. That's what it's gonna. They gotta make plays. They got to flash. It's gonna be flash or trash. Are you making flash plays or are you making mistakes out there? Are you trash? And this is how preseason goes. This is how the competition level dictates who's going to be around and who's not. On the offensive side, it's par for the course. We got wide receivers Ricky P and Jawan Jennings. If they can pony up and get the money, I think Jawan Jennings' hamstring heals miraculously.
Oh, his calf's fine, actually. Yeah.
Or the calf. The calf is going to heal. Look at that. It's just, hey, I woke up, looked at my bank account, and my calf started working good. Yeah.
Rubbed a couple of hundreds on the calf, and then, it magically.
soak it in a little cash, and it'll be all right tomorrow.
Yeah, put some water on the cash, but then put a Band-Aid over it. It'll heal.
And wrap it. It's like a ancient Chinese secret or something.
Yeah.
Christian is going to get the lion's share. He's going to be the starter running back 1. But I would like to see, and I voiced this along with all the 49ers, we want to see more Jordan Watkins, Isaac Correndo, who's hurt as well, and Jordan James. Not Jordan Watson. I'm sorry, Jordan James. Yeah. We got a pair of Jordans here. Jordan James, Isaac Correndo, and I'm interested to see the rookie, undrafted, Corey Kiner, hearing good things about him. And usually the San Francisco 49ers have a tendency of getting the undrafted free agent running back who's better than the guy you drafted in the 3rd or 4th round.
Like we said, it's part of the spell. That's how the
We
spell works.
don't miss with that, which comes back as we wasted a draft choice. But I'm thinking from his college film, I like how Jordan James runs the rock, man, and he can't catch out of the backfield. I'm hearing good things. He's got decent quickness, not breakaway flash, and Gordon speed, but he's steady. He's good, steady.
I liked his film, but I also liked a lot of running backs' film in this draft, where I just kind of thought there was better players in general. Like getting a different player than him would have been a lot more valuable compared to just getting Jordan James. And then getting a running back in the 6th or 7th round would have been better. I feel like it just would have been just as equal. He just didn't pop off to me. And from what I've heard from people all over, from all corners of content creators, Jordan James has looked pretty good. So I may be wrong about that one. That might be my first L I take about Jordan James. But he's your short. He's like I really can't explain it, but it's like he's like a very specific box of where how many yards you can expect him to get. Like he might be a hard runner that's going to get you 5-10 yards at most, right? Like he's going to break through some guys, be a bowling ball, short yardage guy, and he's going to do efficient at that short yardage situation there. But like I said, I don't think he's going to be your home runner. I don't think he's going to juke out a bunch of players, make bigger plays and stuff. I just feel like he's going to make bowling ball, good run, find the right hole in short yardages, and get maybe about 5-10 yards that you absolutely need to get.
And that's what a zone read guy running back is. He's got 3 options when he gets the ball. He's either going to bang it, pause, bend it, which is a cutback, or he's going to bounce it out. And the good ones, or the ones that fit in a zone read, zone option, counter zone, trap play, are the ones that have that vision and timing, and who can make that decision amongst the 3 things quicker than your average running back. Not everybody can just play zone read running. It just takes a quirkiness about a guy like Isaac Guerrero. Isaac Guerrero I think he can do 100 yards in 10 seconds, but you got to give him the ball and tell him the hole will be right there, and he can go right to it. There ain't gonna be no juking, no decisions.
He can catch the backfield though too. He also catch the ball.
Running through that, and he is gone. But this requires a guy to say, "Hey, be slow to it, and then quick through it. You got to slow down because the slice is coming, and he's going to kick this guy." It takes some patience, and it takes acceleration, like a good sports car. When you punch it, you go back. You got to be slow to it and quick through it. And I think he can do that a little bit. He just putters a little bit on the open mile. Jordan James does. On the Autobahn, he ain't gonna get out there and race you.
Well, if you're like in the 5, like if you're in the red zone 5-yard line, I think you'd be a good guy for that spot.
Yeah.
The one guy I don't like in that running back spot, it drives me nuts. And I've heard some good things, not a lot, like you hear from Jordan James or whatever. Patrick Taylor Jr., I don't want him on this roster. I feel like I understand he does some good things. He's a vet, right?
Yeah.
But I'd much rather – it's the 3rd running back. Let that be Jordan James. Let that be Corey Kiner.
Yeah.
The 3rd running back, dude.
I see what you mean. Yeah. He's becoming like – we had a cornerback. Was it Dante Johnson?
Dante Johnson, yeah.
He would always be around. He's like, hey, yeah, I'm here. If y'all need me, just bring me along. And – he's all right. We can put him in there if emergency or you just need somebody. He'll be there. But I'm a little burnt out on Patrick Taylor Jr. as well. I can understand that.
Yeah, it's just like it's such an eyesore seeing him because you don't expect him to get like he wasn't like great or good. He was just last year. He was really just didn't do nothing fascinating. So I'm not expecting an older vet like that to start doing something fascinating. But I will say, Papa J brought up that Guerrero should do kick returns. Well, if you look at special teams here, he is the starter for the kick return spot. So I do agree with that because he did great last year at kick returning. And Jacob Cowling, if Jacob Cowling fixed his catching and kick returns, sure. Because last year I think he had like 2 drops, 1 drop.
Yeah, Guerrero had a fumble or 2 last year too. But when he gets out, man, you ain't catching him until the last yard line. I will say that if he sees hole, hits hole, pause, it's 88 out the gate. You know,
Guerrero is
field position.
He's really good at if he is a kick returner, man, he's super good at it. He has good ball carrier vision when he's able to see the field and know where he needs to go. Like I do agree that Guerrero should be that guy. Cowling, I don't know. Burgeon, you kind of hoped he would stand out a little more. It's kind of sad to see that he's far back there in the depth chart. But so he's probably going to be a practice squad guy there. But yeah, Isaac Guerrero, I think, will be our kick returner. And I like that. I do like that. But going back to the running backs, Christian McCaffrey, my running backs are going to be Christian McCaffrey, obviously Isaac Guerrero, number 2. They're going to put Jordan James at 3, Patrick Taylor maybe at 4, and then Corey Kiner either practice squad or he makes the roster. Because I know the 49ers like keeping 4 or 5 running backs.
And they need to use 4 or 5 running backs.
Yeah, they need to use a committee here.
Don't keep 4 and use 1 like a ragged dog, and then be like, "Hey, I don't know what happened here, man. What's going on? What's wrong with Christian McCaffrey?" Well, might be the thousands of carries there, bub. Windows shouldn't return kicks. Too valuable in the run game. Cowan isn't a pure returner. Agreed. Right. That's Ty Austin, the ever-present proverbial.
If you got
that, I'd like this. The contrarian.
Well, if you have Isaac Guerrero do kickoffs and then your starting running back's Christian McCaffrey, Isaac Guerrero is going to have a break between that kick return and probably his next rep at offensive. So I don't see a problem putting him there.
Junior Bergen is supposed to be the guy.
But he's dropping balls, dude.
Yeah, we'll see. He was supposed to be it, but we're gonna see. This will be excellent showing up in the preseason game. We're gonna have the joint practices. They start today. Probably have another one tomorrow, and then they're gonna have the preseason game Saturday. Yeah, so a lot is going to be seen. A lot is going to be said. Dropping balls, pause.
I do like the wide receiver situation. Like when you look at it, I kind of like it because you got Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall. If Ricky Pearsall plays as good as you're hearing about, absolutely love it. I have heard that Ricky Pearsall still has problems getting off press man or off the line. Like he's having issues with that. But outside of that, I've heard once he gets released, he's one of the best route runners. I've heard he's just doing insanely good at that.
Oh yeah. And he practiced a little bit with Brock during the off season to get their timing together, and they're different unwritten codes that a receiver and a quarterback need to have, unsubstantiated truths that they just looks and just whatever you need to. Hey, I'm coming your way now. Okay, I like that rapport built up. It's nothing but good things comes from that extra practice with your quarterback away from the facility or after practice. You
know how a player cuts, when that player is going to cut and how good
you get a feel for him. Yeah, you know what's up. It is what it is. There, see.
And it's good to see that Jacob Cowling's moving up. He's not moving back on the depth chart or anything like that. You got Demarcus Robinson. He's your third wide receiver for sure, but Jacob Cowling looks like he's going to be your 4th guy. Russell Gage will probably be your 5th guy, and Jordan Watkins probably your 6th guy. So that's what the depth chart. That's how I look at the depth chart right now.
And you got Equanimous St. Brown lingering out there. Nair's got cut, right? Isaiah Nair?
Nair got cut. Yeah, dude. That's actually that was a huge shocker.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
He had an incredible catch, and then like people were loving him and stuff, and he just gets cut. That's
hit him with this sorry.
That blew my mind. I was like, you got rid of him over Isaiah Hodgins or Robbie Chosen, or like, it's not like you cut. It's not like, yeah, you have other like, okay, you have room here to keep Isaiah Nair on the roster. Okay,
yeah.
You have plenty of wide receivers that they're above him, but you got Isaiah Rodgers, Robbie Chosen. Like you could have. I'd rather have Isaiah Nayers out there than those two guys. To be honest with you. Aquaman St. Brown, whatever it is. I'd rather have Isaiah Nayers and work on him. I'd almost rather have Isaiah Nayers over Tariq Owens right now, just because I like that upside and what the potential he could be. So I just think that I like the project, and I think I don't know where he's at, what he's done, but just get rid of him. While I feel like there's even you could have gone to defense and got rid of a guy and kept Isaiah Nayers.
Yeah.
Even if you liked all these wide receivers. I feel like getting rid of him it's also kind of crazy. So
because we definitely got Fabian Moreau out here, which I love. Fabian, for those of y'all who used to watch Laverne and Shirley, Fabian was like their star. I got to see him play though. But yeah, it was other opportunities you probably could have dropped somebody versus him.
Yeah. So that was a bit of a shocker, to be honest with you.
Yeah. That came off.
So hopefully it doesn't come back to bite us in the ass. It's not one of those things where he turns out to be a great player. Like,
well,
I don't wish you a downfall, man, but
somebody said it. Yep, Nair gone. Should sign him back instead of Chosen. And somebody said that Nair got picked up by it's a Big Brick. Rick Brick coming in with it, man. Thank you. Come with the latest and greatest. He already got picked up by Green Bay, and Green Bay will get our receivers or people you like. We had our eye on Trey Lance's former teammate, who was that Christian. Is it Christian Kirk or
it's Christian Watkins?
Christian Watkins. We had an eye on him, and Green Bay will be like, "Oop, I'll take that." And now they see a long receiver who might need a little bit of the development, but Green Bay will pull the trigger, man. If anybody is out there, Green Bay will get your receiver.
Yeah, they're trying to Green Bay is just trying to find that wide receiver core. They're just drafting wide receivers and stuff like that, trying to help out Jordan Love and stuff. And I wish Nair's the best, man, but it's just like also at the same time I don't want him to be good because I don't want that to be a mistake later on, like and stuff. So we'll see how that goes.
Watch you go 50 catches, 500 yards, and 5 touchdowns. You go like, oh, oh no. What else we got as far as offensive line? You got Nugent out there in the back. Drew Moss, I was hearing he was okay. Connor Kobe was having a bit of a camp. Made no better with the great CJ West, who's just been beating everybody up. So he's been making everybody look bad. But I'm hoping they'll come on up in the offensive line. But for what we got, I still see that name at center there, Jake Brendel. We're gonna accept what we got, and we're gonna move on here.
Yeah, we have to. We could be negative and angry about it all we want, but that Jake Brendel thing is going to be on that spot, whether we like it. Matt Hennessy's not going to take it. Drake Nugent's not going to take it. He's just going to be there. I will say that Zach Johnson being above anyone else on this list is kind of a bit of a shock because I don't even know who that is. Being above Isaiah Prince, who has more experience, Connor Colby, or even Drake Nugent. Maybe he could play guard or something. Drew Moss.
Isaiah Prince is my guy, man. I was liking him back in I think it was 21 or 22. I wanted them to trade the Bengals for this is how long ago it was. Sermon. Remember the running back Sermon?
Yeah, Trey Sermon.
From Ohio State. I wanted us to give him. Sermon would go back to the state of Ohio, and we would have gotten Isaiah Prince. I thought Isaiah Prince was better than Mike McGlinchey when McGlinchey was with us, I really like, and they Cincinnati did something like get the old Cowboys tackle, and he came in it, and then Isaiah Prince got benched. But this guy, I seen him have a game against Max Crosby, and Max didn't get a sack that game. Isaiah Prince had hands all over. He's one of those big lumbering Ohio State guys. Not saying he still has it like that. He's had a couple of injuries. He's bounced around a little bit, but this is a really at one time he was a really good tackle, a solid tackle who moved real good, could sink his hips, could anchor very well, good hand placement, quick feet. Solid feet, nothing, I'm not saying he's earth shatter. He's not the second coming of Anthony Munoz or Jackie Slater or nothing, but as a right tackle, when I used to watch Cincinnati get down, this guy was really somebody who was on my radar, and we'll see how it shakes out if he's still, an inkling of the guy that I knew. He just had a couple of rough breaks, man. Good player though. Good player.
I'm gonna
Florida State or Ohio State, one of the two.
I think Isaiah Prince, I have high hopes for him as a backup. Not expecting him to be a starter for sure, but yeah. I agree. I do like him, and I think that hopefully makes this team. I think this team probably keeps 9 O-linemen on this roster because they dealt a lot of injuries last year. I think they're going to be more cautious this year.
Could, yeah.
We'll see how it shakes out when we see these players and how they play, if there's enough room for them. But I would not blame the 49ers if they end up keeping 9 offensive linemen. Usually you keep 8. That's usually the line. But if you kept 9, I would not put it past.
I wouldn't be mad because Ben Barch is excellent when he is in there, but Ben Barch get hurt. He hurt more than he hurt more than he is on there. So stay tuned for old Ben Barch. He said, I got us keeping Brick 84. Big Brick 84 says, I got us keeping Burford Zakale Hennessy as our backup O-line just because they can all play multiple positions.
That's a good take.
Along the line. Yeah, we do like a multifaceted, multi-position offensive lineman. We do like that.
Yeah.
Prince is better than McGlinchey for sure. Man, Big Brick, what you talking about? Big Brick, yeah.
Not today, but yeah.
Prince is a little undersized compared to the rest of the line, but he can flip his hips better than most. I got Prince on the practice squad. Hey, practice squad, just get him in here and get him ready. Beef him up a little bit. I think out in California, maybe they don't eat enough McDonald's or, once you get past the Mississippi, start dealing with those Pac-10 guys, they don't eat good. There's stuff that's bad for you. They don't eat pork. They try to go vegan, and the offensive and defensive line don't get nasty enough. You gotta be, you gotta be tough. You gotta thicken up and just be tough. That's why those SEC guys are always working out, and Big 12, Big 10, Big 12 guys. When you go out to California, I think them linemen, man, they eating vegan, man. You can't eat vegan at 22 years old. You gotta, hey, I need steaks, plenty of chicken. You can throw one green bean on there, but it's all, protein all the way. That's just my, my 2 cents, my theory.
So
replace Brindle, he's lousy. I know, Joe.
Christian requirement, 110%. So what is your? So before we move on from this list, what is your the position you're most confident in, and you want to see, you can't wait to see in preseason, and what is your least favorite where you're just like, we need to trade for something, or we need to get more depth here. What's your least favorite in confidence, and what's your favorite in confidence?
Well, the obvious answers here, and I'm gonna just scave them over. I'm a Brock Purdy dude, and I can't stand Jake Brindle. But to my second ones, I'm really wanting to see Upton Stout out there on the defensive side of the ball. I think he's gonna be doing some great things with my 1A being, man, Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff is looking really, really good coming off that ball. He did a spin move against somebody that I saw on somebody's B-roll. He is, man, Bryce Huff can spin, man. If he's developing the spin with that heat that he's coming off the edge with in a wide 9, it's gonna make the tackle, it's gonna make the tackle set early to try to circumvent his speed, which is going to set him to the outside. And then if he hits him with that speed, man, you dealing with a powerful 1-2 punch. On the offensive side, I'd have to say Ricky P, you gotta step in to this thing seriously, man. You gotta become that guy, that number 1 pick for the San Francisco 49ers. You need to carry that weight. This is an opening for you. Jauan Jennings is being considered our wide receiver 1. And
that's if like Rick Pearsall doesn't take that step, though. That's if he doesn't take that step.
But right now, Jauan Jennings is your, given his contract situation and all, but Jauan Jennings is that guy. And you got BA, who's not going to join us at best the end of October. So you'd be looking for BA around a Halloween, somewhere around there, in my estimation. It could be quicker, but right now this is just a grand opening for Ricky P to step in and be that guy. I need you to just, dude, it should be every practice. It should be, man, Ricky P, they can't handle him. Man, Ricky P, against man, Ricky P is scorching them. He's this, he's that. I'm hearing, Upton Stout is out there locking you down 2 out of 3 of the.
maybe Upton Stout is just that good. So
it could be. It could be that. Maybe that's, we looking at a potential All-Pro. But Ricky P, come on now, come on, bud, come on. And I guess that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. I'm hoping Jordan James. I'm hoping Jordan James will be that solid, give you 5 yards. We used to have a running back named Bar None. Was it Greg Lloyd? I think it was number 40. He went by Bar None, and John Madden one day said, he said, this guy, he says, hey, if you need 3 yards, I'll give you 3 yards. If you need 5 yards, I'll give you 3 yards. And I was like, perfect. That's what, the man just know what he is. He's going to give you 3 yards. That's what I need. Give me them 3, give me them 4. Perfect.
I would say honestly, my biggest concern, believe it or not, out of all the positions, starting off the negative here, is outside of the kicker situation. I want to take that away just because that's a glaring, like, okay, everyone's going to agree with that. But just talking about offense, defense wise, my biggest one is safety, because outside of Mustafa, everything else is just, I haven't seen yet. Yeah. We have to wait and see how it goes. A lot of people in the chat are just talking shit about Jair Brown, but Jair Brown played free safety last year, not strong safety. And Jair Brown is more of a strong safety than a free safety.
He is.
Good point. To give Jair Brown shit right now for that, I know Juan absolutely loves to shit on Jair Brown, but Jair Brown was not in his natural position last year. He played free safety when he's a strong safety, and they have him as strong safety here. I haven't seen Jason Pinnock, but I've heard good things, so I don't know about that. Marquis Seal's a rookie. I've heard good things about Richie Grant. So it's all just this giant question mark where I don't have confidence saying, okay, that's when it comes to starters and depth, I don't know enough. So that's my biggest concern here.
I can see that.
My most excited to see on defense is that defensive line. I know what Fred Warner is. I believe in D. Winters. There is some excitement for the depth there in the linebackers and stuff. But I can't wait to see Mikael Williams. I can't wait to see C.J. West. I can't wait to see Alfred Collins. Honestly, I can't wait to see Sam Okwonu and how he grew. I can't wait to see Evan Anderson and how he grew. Or Sebastian Valdez from what Larry Cruz talking about. I'm most excited to see this D-line and what they can do. Bryce Huff even. I want to see this D-line so bad. not only was it our biggest weakness last year, one of at least.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see this revamped defense. I'm so excited about it. And there's some confidence in there too, because like I like these players too as well. There's no question marks like the safety position. So I just feel like this D line is just the way to go. While linebacker, I have more confidence in that. Offensively wise, obviously the biggest one for me is it's not wide receiver, it's not running back, it's not quarterback, it's not fullback, it's offensive line. I will forever be concerned about the offensive line because Jake Brendel's there and Ben Bartch constantly gets hurt, and I don't trust the depth of the offensive line. Like I don't know enough about Matt Hennessy for good things, but not enough about it. Spencer Burford, last time I checked, he was trash at playing guard, but I've heard he's better at tackle. We'll see. Another question mark there. Drake Nugent obviously hasn't taken a step forward. He's still down there in the depth there. So there's nothing that excites me about the offensive line.
Yeah.
It's very thin to me with question marks. That could turn out to be great. Like Burford could turn out to be a great backup. Prince could turn out to be a great backup. And like all these question marks there, though. No confidence. Wide receiver, like I like the depth of wide receiver, believe it or not. I like the depth. But it's kind of like what alluded to what you said there, where it's like Ricky Pearsall needs to step to be the number one. Someone needs to step up to be the number one guy. That's the problem right now. It's not the depth. I trust Juwan Jennings as depth. Jacob Cowing, I trust that he took a step forward. I trust the other wide receivers to be these. DeMarcus Robinson, depth. I think he'd be a good depth wide receiver. But there's nobody that stands out as that number one guy at wide receiver.
It's like a competition for two. Everybody land on three, and I'm all right with that. It may become the dude. It's an absence right now. It's a hole in the universe. Fill the void, dude. Step in there. We're throwing mud on the wall, trying to get this thing together, bringing people in. We're bringing old names back. What's that? Robert Johnson. It's like Isaiah Hodgins. Just who are these people? And then it got like a Key and Peele skit with Aquanimous St. Brown.
Yeah.
Megatron Skittle.
Brother.
That Key and Peele skit, man, that thing had me funny. But yeah, I'm in step with you there, man.
So that's my biggest. That I agree with you on the. But my offensive line will always trump that one spot. If the depth's good on the wide receiver position, it may not be elite, but at least there's some good there where Brock will have options when your quarterback reads 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, all of his reads or whatever. Having that depth, there's a safety blanket there because that means if Ricky Pearsall can't get it done, he can trust Juwan Jennings, Jacob Cowing, someone like that. Offensive line wise, though, if one guy goes out or doesn't live up to the hype, you're kind of screwed. So it's just the O-line is such a glaring what the fuck? Like what if? And so, but that number one wide receivers position is bad. Tight end wise, I mean, George Kittle gets most of the we snaps anyway.
That's gonna be automatic, yeah. But
Luke
I'd like to see Luke Farrell or one of these other guys. And they brought back Ross the Boss Dwelly. At least this is saying that, but come on, man. We know what Ross the Boss was. Brayden Willis.
We have a definitive starting tight end situation, but the depth is just a huge question mark of I don't know. Because like Luke Farrell is going to be your blocking tight end on these play action passes. So you have two blocking tight ends in George Kittle and Luke Farrell, but you also have that pass catcher in George Kittle. So we know the scheme there and what's going to happen there. Right?
I got excuse me, man. I got Collie Young coming with some late breaking news developments. Eli Apple has been released. So go ahead and clap.
Well, I knew it. I said it. I was like, it's not a big deal.
Nobody really liked Eli Apple. And when we signed her, everybody's like, "Oh, Eli Apple's out here, boy. We doing bad. You got to hit Eli Apple. It's like buying a generic cornflakes." And somebody had some other. Greenlaw is back on the practice field, but not in pads. So You have a tendency. My feet and my eyes are with the San Francisco 49ers, but my ears are with other teams and teams that had our guys go to them. So I do listen up when I hear that. And with it playing into San Francisco with these joint practices today, that is timely news.
I've heard that Dre Greenlaw's had a couple injuries already from training camp, and then like prior, he's had a couple injuries already. So dodged a bullet potentially with Dre Greenlaw, but there's no surprise. But Big Brick says talk about Tungus and Willis on practice squad until Dwelley does something to loses to tight end 3. Well, they currently have Dwelley not as the 3rd or 4th tight end on this list. He's the 5th tight end on this list here.
Yeah.
And 4th tight end. But a lot of people want to say Ross Dwelley looks slow. Yeah, but we kept a slow tight end last year as well. I don't think speed matters when it comes to this roster right now. I think that if Ross Dwelley is just able to catch the ball, because you have your blocker in Luke Farrell, but who's your backup blocker? You have George Kittle, who's going to be that backup ball catcher.
Yeah,
it's going to be Ross Dwelley. I think Ross Dwelley is going to be your 3rd tight end in the end. I think that's what's going to happen, unless Jake Tungus takes a step forward or Braden Willis takes a step forward. I think knowing Kyle on this roster, they're going to keep a vet.
He loved Ross the Boss, man. He loved Dwelley, and they just get their favorites, and the guy knows the system or something like that. But
yeah,
he just is,
Yeah, I think Dwelley makes this roster for sure, and then someone's going to be out. It's Tungus, Braden Willis, one of them, but we'll see. The 49ers tend to keep 2 or 3 tight ends on this roster. They're really banking on George Kittle constantly being healthy all the time.
And George getting nicked, man. We use George a lot. Switching gears now. Let me see what I got next on the agenda. We are doing AFC North GOATs. The GOAT is defined by myself and Wolfie, is the player when you see the logo, you think that guy. It could have been somebody back in time, could be somebody there now. But when you see that logo, it's them for all time. Let us start the bidding with the Cincinnati. Well, no, you go. It's your preference. How you want to start?
No. I have to let my dog outside. That's all I want to say.
Let the dog.
I didn't cut you off to say.
and here at Terror Dome, ladies and gentlemen, we answer the question: who let the dogs out? We now know it was Wolfie. That was funny somewhere. I don't know. Somebody give me a little laughter. Where my laugh track at? I ain't got my laugh track. Yeah. We've answered the question: who let the dogs out? There it is. A little laughter there. What else we got going on in the comments? Thank you, Red Jazz Hill. That was had myself on the bed. There you go, Terradome. Who let the gods out? Ooh. I think he meant dog. I'm pretty sure. That was a jam. I'm sorry, man. That who let the dogs out? That thing knocked for years. It still will get everybody. If you just give at the basketball game, you just start that. Everybody answers. That's when you got to answer. When everybody throughout everything knows the jam, that's when you got to anthem, man. That who let the dogs out? That thing hit.
Wolf.
Woof. That's what I was saying.
All right.
Yeah, man.
So,
I
what was the team?
love that. And people still at the game, they still will play some YMCA. They still will play Queen. We Are the Champions. It's a few anthems out there.
Seven Nation Army, White Stripes. That's a big one.
Phil Collins, In the Air at Night as you're warming up.
Yeah.
Night game. A night, man. When I hear that In the Air at night, oh my God, boy, it gonna be something.
Well, did you hear about how? Not to get too sidetracked here, but did you hear about what that song is about? Do you know what that song is about? in the
Yeah, it's by witnessing a murder. And
so some people make the joke of like, why did he just go home and make a song about it? Why didn't he try to help the man and call the police? Instead, he's like, whoa, I just saw someone get murdered. I guess I gotta go home and write a song about this.
Sometimes when the spirit hits, you gotta do what it says do. That's like people who are witnessing like something bad happening or fights and stuff, and they got their cell phones. Are you gonna help? And then if they do help, they don't want to miss the shot like a cameraman. Yeah. They try to help as showing the selfie.
Yeah, they're doing this.
Look, like, I'm trying to help.
I guess half-assing is better than not doing it at all, I guess. If you want to look at some process, but still, yeah, it's like put some full effort, help these people out.
Yeah, do something, Somebody says, I know that song is about a murder because of the Eminem lyric from the song Stan. Stan was bad, man. Stan. That was just so dope. Let me adjust my camera again. I think I did it with the selfie. This, man, I don't know. This thing.
Try this.
Like that?
Yeah, like open up.
Yeah, that's good. I got to look at us. I'm still close. Let me see. Remove it. Let me go here. See, that's too. Come on, camera.
You look like you're in a window going like this.
Yeah, like
like you're really.
I mean, it's a nice process. It's a nice concept there, camera, but
oh, there you go.
Yeah, you gotta
get in there.
Come on, camera. It's a little too intrusive, and then this thing moves along with me. If I move around, it'll swivel. I'm like, hey man, that thing's gonna tell us something one time. I got to start cleaning up. You never know what might be on camera here.
For sure.
All right, we're looking at the AFC North division here. Wolfie, you have the honor. What would you like to? What team would you like to start on for?
Did you say? I think you said the Bengals, right? That was the one you wanted to do.
Yeah, the Bengals.
The Bengals. Yeah.
Cincinnati Bengals.
This one, honestly, I'm going to say my number one is Anthony Munoz, offensive tackle, one of the greatest offensive linemen of all time. The Bengals don't really have like that kind of guy. Like, there's no competition much for the greatest Bengal of all time, which is kind of shocking. You think it would be the quarterback that took him to the Super Bowl? I can't think of his name right now.
They had
Boomer,
Joe Burrow recently, but before that it was Boomer Esiason, and one time Ken Anderson. Ken Anderson was really, really good too.
Ken Anderson was up there next to Anthony Munoz, I've heard too as well. But my number one, without a doubt, is if you're the best, at least top three in your position of all time, from what I've heard, and there's really no one else that really competes with that. Ken Anderson was one of them. I've heard was the closest, but that wasn't enough for me. I got to give it to Anthony Munoz. I just have to. But I want to say this. If Joe Burrow keeps playing the way that he's playing, even if he doesn't win a Super Bowl, right? But
yeah,
as good as he is, I think at some point he will be the face of the Bengals in the future. If he keeps playing the way he is and stops getting injured all the time.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow at some point is on track. If he plays for another 8 to 7 years, as good as he is right now, it's going to be Joe Burrow. Papa J says Ocho Cinco. That's a good
Ocho Cinco,
especially based on his personality.
Like that. Yeah, Ocho Cinco was nice. Ocho Cinco was bad.
I value him as much as AJ Green, but the only thing is Ocho Cinco is just kind of he's way more energetic and he's way more out there. And I don't know. When I think of the Bengals, I don't really think of any player. Cinco, but I also think of AJ Green. I also think of Carson Palmer. There's no.
Carson Palmer was nice. Carson Palmer was nice. He was nice.
Andy Dalton, they're all on the same level to me. And I got to say, so if that's the case, I have to go with greatness. And their greatness to me is Anthony Munoz. So that's my guy. Honorable mention Joe Burrow in 7 to 8 years.
Yeah, I think we hit all the honorable mentions there. Kenny Anderson was pretty good back in the day. He went to a couple of AFC championships and a Super Bowl. He was who we beat the first Super Bowl back in 81. Let's say that it you can't go any other place but Anthony Munoz. I wish I would have just pulled up some B-roll. I will on the cut of this. I'll pull up some Anthony Munoz B-roll because y'all have really got to see how dominating Anthony Munoz was. It, uh, it, it trust me, y'all. This is the quintessential left tackle. This dude he was out of this world, man. He was out of this world. He's got a let me just share the screen on this real quick. They can't get me for pirating or nothing like that if I just share my screen, whatever YouTube does. But these are Anthony Munoz stats from 1980 to 1991. I will blow it up real big. Just look at not that. Let's close that up. Just look at his Pro Bowl and his record. I keep showing these advertisements. Close that up. Just try to keep you from saying he was all pro every year. Not a couple, not 3, 4, not 5. Every year it was understood. Just pencil him in that AP1 right beside there, Anthony Munoz. It got a sprinkle and a smidge of.
Was he offensive player of the year?
He had votes. He had votes for offensive player of the year. That's that.
Okay, not actual. I was gonna say that's the first time I've ever seen offensive lineman win that award, dude.
He could have. He had votes for it. That's how
an argument. Yeah,
this dude was just so dominating. It just ain't funny. And then he would flip over. I think he's got a touchdown or two on some catches. Does he have touchdown? Yeah, he's got 4 touchdowns. They would split him out. He was athletic enough to be a tight end. He used to catch you with his gloves and those huge fingers. He could just stymie you with one hand. He was quicker than all of the other, LT will tell you. All of the greats was going at this time from 81 to 91. This is when it was pass rush central. And Anthony Munoz, you go up there mess with Anthony Munoz, you was gonna have a hard day. You better go on the other side. Go on the other side. You ain't getting it. You ain't getting it. Anthony Munoz had something for all of them. Anthony Munoz was absolutely incredible. I wish I had the forethought to make a film for it, but man, yeah, that's a goat of goats. And he's what every offensive tackle, particularly the left side, will be measured against until
him and Bruce Matthews are the face of offensive linemen.
Boy, sure. Yeah. Bruce Matthews is bad. And they just played on, weaker teams, and you need everything to win in the National Football League, but man, as an individual, as somebody who mastered the position and was great at it, you couldn't ask for much more than Anthony Munoz. Really love Anthony Munoz.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you. That's the guy.
Yeah, that's my dude, Anthony Munoz.
You kind of feel bad a little bit for these teams. Like, yeah, the Titans have some historic quarterbacks and stuff like that, but your best GOAT player is Bruce Matthews in the end. Or, for the Bengals, same thing. You have a couple guys taking the Super Bowl and stuff, but they don't exactly pop off enough to become like your GOAT, and it's your offensive linemen. Granted, these offensive linemen nothing to shake at, but it's just interesting to see that these teams, don't have that crazy quarterback, or what I mean. Sometimes.
Yeah. You need it all, and when you can't get it all, you just take what you got. Sometimes it line up for you, sometimes it don't. But
it's just what I'm trying to say. It's just shocking to see the offensive lineman in general is like popping off when like they don't get enough credit, and it's like you have to like you really kind of have to do your research to understand like who's your like who an offensive lineman is on their team in the past and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and for these players to be so good at their position to pop off, you know what I mean? It's like yeah. So like for example, if Steve Young was as good as he was on the Titans or the Bengals, I think Steve Young would come out on top as their GOAT compared to Munoz or Bruce Matthews. Is what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, the quarterback it gets way heavier because it's a tougher position, but and it's the most cerebral and involved position on the field. You got to know so much. Oh, shout out to quarterback on Netflix, the episode 3, the very beginning of episode 3. It's talking to I think it's Kirk Cousins,
Joe Burrow,
and who else is it?
I don't watch the show, so I don't know.
It's Jared Goff. And they're all explaining simultaneously, great editing, what it's like at the break of the huck. And they're going through everything they're looking at, thinking about, and it's all really edited really, really well to show you and give perspective on what they're thinking all the way in those 12 seconds until that ball is snapped. It's like you do that 35, 40 times a game. If you it's a lot. No love for Vontaze Burfict. No tie.
Oh no, dude, that guy was a piece of shit, dude.
If we were looking for the most infamous, Vontaze Burfict is right up there with the most infamous.
If there's an infamous list, yes.
He is number one. He's up there. Vontaze Burfict, Richie Incognito. It's been a lot of them. It's some great ones there. But Vontaze Burfict, man. Remember he twisted somebody's foot when they were. I think it was Cam Newton. Vontaze Burfict.
Put it past him.
It was crazy.
It's
crazy.
Yeah, I don't like him. I thought he played too dirty.
I can understand. Yeah, Vontaze, you're doing a little too much now, Vontaze. Chris Collinsworth, with his long neck, and Boomer Esiason. I mentioned Boomer. Chris Collinsworth, just man, his comedy. He was a tough now. He was an old Florida Gator. He had that long neck. He had a long neck, and he used to get open, man. Chris Collinsworth, he'll stall you a little bit. And Boomer Esiason, I don't like Boomer because Boomer just be lying, man. Boomer was, and I ain't gonna get into that too much. Boomer just be lying too much, man. And then he's talking about how to tackle people one day on the NFL net, not on the NFL net, it was on CBS. And they were talking about tackling and how we got to get rid of the guys using their heads. And see, when you tackle somebody, you got to do like this. You got to tackle with your head all the way over here, and you tackle with your shoulder and your arm. And Deion Sanders never turned around and said, "Are you really telling people how to tackle?" Like
your camera.
And,
your camera.
Yeah. Oh, the camera went. Oh, that thing went on. How did that go like that? I don't know how that go.
I don't know, but it showed us your ceiling. You got a nice ceiling. You got a ceiling fan. That's good.
Yeah, man. Trying to keep it cool in here. I don't know. This camera goes crazy. It's got a mind of its own, yeah.
Without doubt. I agree with you. Boomer needs to, stay in his lane, kind of type thing.
Yeah, Boomer.
But, all right. So next team, what you want to do?
Next team we will go to will be the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
Now we're gonna have a discussion here. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh my God!
Wow. Now, as many as you didn't have to choose from with the Bengals, it is different now.
So honestly, dude,
man, Pittsburgh is where it's at.
I'm gonna let. Can you do this one first? Because this one personally,
Okay.
My answer is going to be short, and it's not going to be great. So I'll let you be the judgment of who's number one here. So yeah.
Pittsburgh has had some of the goatiest goats there have
They
been
have
goated.
so many. They have so many.
You got the bus. The bus was the same color as the Pittsburgh Steelers color, and everybody took a ride from the bus himself. Dag, you had I'm getting to the good stuff, but I gotta show respect to Hines Ward was the truth. Who else comes into mind? It had Rod Woodson. Rod Woodson was on there at one time. Troy Polamalu. My goodness. Troy Polamalu was just, every player from now on who plays in the secondary with long hair is going to, he reminds me of Troy Polamalu, especially if he's of Tongan descent or from the islands in the perimeter of the Pacific like that. Man. Oof. You had some dogs. Going back to the 70s, man, Terry Bradshaw gave you 4 championships, man. 4 championships he was on. When you get off the plane in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, we went up there 2 or 3 years ago for the game. There is a statue right in the middle of the airport of one Franco Harris. Back in the day, man, you wanted to be
classic.
You wanted to be Franco Harris, man. The immaculate reception, the greatness of Rocky Bleier, Lynn Swann, and John Stallworth were like having basically Jerry Rice and daggone Randy Moss on your team in the 70s. They were that bad. They were high flying and getting it done in the latter part of the 70s, man, and they got the hardware to prove it. But for me, when I think Pittsburgh, when I think the black and the gold, the first dynasty of my life when I first started liking football, it all centered around the steel curtain. And when I think Pittsburgh, the face of those Steelers, that intimidating defense with Jack Lambert, Jack Ham, Mel Blount, Donnie Shell, even a nickelback named Tony Dungy. It starts and ends with those guys up front, the steel curtain. And of that steel curtain, one Mean Joe Green is your GOAT Steeler. It won't nothing like big, bad, Mean Joe Green, who lived up to the hype and spearheaded, who was it? Dwight White, L.C. Greenwood, and the other name escapes me. You can look it up really, really easy, but it is easily, to me, not easily, but it has to be to me, Mean Joe Green represents
he pops off
of Steelers.
He pops off the most to you.
He was, and when you go to the city of Pittsburgh and you eat at different places, there are pictures of Mean Joe Green and all of the Steelers who've ever been there. They, the coaches, it is just a football town, not ideal, not, a vacation spot, but really everybody takes on the Steeler persona. And I really like that about the city of Pittsburgh, man. Shout out to all of them there. But for me, the GOAT Steeler is Mean Joe Green.
Like I said, my answer is kind of boring. It's whoever you want it to be. I'm sorry, but they have so many great players.
Oh, come on, Wolfie. You gotta give a.
And okay, so all right. If I had to pick one, absolutely had to. And it's just because Troy Polamalu was a fantastic player. Lynn Swann, one of the greatest, and you got Terry Bradshaw, 4 Super Bowls. You got Mean Joe Green, like you said, and Like there's just so much greatness around the Steelers, and I hate the Steelers, and I hate saying that, but there's just like every player is on the same tier. It's not like with Jerry Rice separates himself; he's on his own tier. You know he's number one. Patriots, even though he won 6 Super Bowls, you know Tom Brady separates himself. Despite Terry Bradshaw winning 4 Super Bowls, like you said, the Steel Curtain gets a lot of credit for that too as well. So it's just like a quarterback doesn't separate itself. They're all in the same tier of greatness. And so it's I couldn't find a guy that massively enough, or for sure was like, okay, this is the guy. When I think of the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think of the logo in my head visually, because I have the visual thing. Visually, I think of the logo, and then faces pop out of the logo. Troy Polamalu, Mean Joe Green, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. So it's just like there's no face. But if you put a gun to my head and forced me to pick one, it would be Mean Joe Green. I agree with you on that, because for my entire life, all I have ever heard of was Mean Joe Green, Steelers. This guy is, like, just in general, as one of the greatest players of all time. Mean Joe Green comes to mind and was always talked about my entire life. Even before I even got into football, I've heard about Mean Joe Green. So I would have to give it to him 110% if you forced me to do it. But like I said, my original answer is just like whoever you want, because it's just the same tier. Same tier of greatness.
It is, man. They was just I can understand. I can understand the answer, but just for the audience, we just had to get declared. But
I had to get one guy. Yeah, okay.
Jack Lambert. Jack Lambert, they called him Dracula in cleats. He was out there with no teeth up front, looking like a hockey dude. Scaring everybody. He was, a little Kent State guy, man. Skinny, tall, but will uncork on your monkey. That mug won't playing around, man. Serving justice out there. You had Mean Joe, L.C. Greenwood. That secondary. The reason why you only have a 5-yard, you have a 5-yard bump, and you can't touch them receivers further than 5 yards is because of Mel Blount. Mel Blount in 1974 was a 6'4" cornerback, and he was going about 220. Mel Blount would pick your ass up and throw you down coming off that line. In 1978, they said, "Look, y'all, we got to change the rule. That's just too damn much." Mel Blount was like the tush push of defense. Look, we got to get together. We're not gonna sell this game with that big MF for throwing people down coming off the line of scrimmage. We just can't
change the rules. It's a big deal.
They had to change the rule. They said, "Oh, you can only touch them within 5 yards, and you can't move with them and dump them on their head." Mel Blount. That's them dudes was treacherous, man. You got scared when you had to go up to. It was Three River Stadium. It was supposed to be AstroTurf. It was concrete with a green blanket on it. It looked tough, and you got hurt as soon as they would touch you and tackle you. People would come off with broken bones and chips. They just would out tough you. They just wouldn't make mistakes. And, that was their first 2 Super Bowls. And then they got Lynn Swann and John Stallworth in the same draft. Shout out to Bill Nunn. Bill Nunn was the head scout of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they've really opened the gates to go and get guys from HBCUs. And Bill Nunn just did an excellent job of picking some of the best players in the country and bringing them to Pittsburgh collectively, man. And they were innovative. About the Rooney Rule. They were very forthright, as Bill Walsh was too, very much progressive thinking in terms of minority and hiring high. And they just as an organization, they just get it done, man. They knew who a Pittsburgh guy was. Hey, you fit in right here. We're gonna bring you in here. Yeah, Jack Ham, man, all of them. I think they got about 8 All-Pro. Mike Webster had those arms. and he looked like Lou Ferrigno when he would reach out and get the ball to snap it. His arms just popping out, and my camera's going a little close, but y'all, I'm telling you, the steel curtain, that's a hard thing. You used to Mean Joe Green had one of the most famous commercials ever where he drinks the Coca-Cola. And that Coca-Cola was different back in the day. That Coca-Cola would burn your throat with the acid. And he's just gulping it down and throws the kid a T-shirt. That was the first throwback jersey commercial in. Hey man, it was it. It's rich history.
They do. They have very rich history. They do. Yeah. Like it really is fascinating that if you just think about any other team, you can find a guy and be like, okay, I think that guy's number one. But it's just they have an insane history. Like if you're a Steelers fan, like you should be happy and proud of even like right now you're a little bit of turmoil. Not everything's the greatest, but like historic wise, you are not just because you have all these Super Bowls, but because like historically you have so much greatness in your history. So it's so rich that I don't know. If you're a Steelers fan, I can see why you'd be hot-headed and why you'd be like super proud of your team no matter what, and you should be.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much to love about your team. So yeah.
It is. They the deal. They the deal.
All right. So
we move on. Hey, these other two is just, hey man, it is what it is. I go to the Baltimore Ravens, and ain't much to talk about. From the U, it is Ray Lewis. It's Sugar Ray, man. The best come out of any player ever in the history of coming out. Only one that might could touch it was I forgot who the basketball player was that came out doing the Dougie on his introduction his rookie year, but week after week, year after year, the great Ray Lewis set a standard that was defense of middle linebacking. He was trying to be on every hit, and he was going to make you feel every hit. A leader to the end. I don't know of another leader as good as Ray Lewis in the National Football League. Mm-hmm. Gave no quarters and expected the same of you. Incredible studier of the game, student of the game, steward of the game. Again, from the University of Miami. His only rival may have been the incredible Ed Reed, who played behind him. Both were
at the same time.
Here. Excellent dudes, man. But Ray Lewis was getting it done before Ed Reed got there, and then he just doubled down when Ed Reed came. Pause. And man, I had never seen anything like that since maybe the Chicago Bears. At one time, the daggone Ravens did not score a touchdown. I think it was 8 weeks. They couldn't score. They couldn't score a touchdown. It was all field goals, and they was winning by stuff like 12-10 or 6-9. And he never got on there and blasted his offense and say, "Oh, they suck," Yeah. No, they just said, "Okay, you know what? If they don't score, they can't win." And Ray Lewis took it upon himself, him and Saragusa and them big boys, man. Shout out to Jamie Sharper was on that team from Richmond, Virginia. Man, Ray would get it done. That's everybody's example. They said, man, you can't do that. If Ray Lewis in front of you, I bet you won't do that. And he meant it. He would match wits with some of the absolute great quarterbacks that have ever played, to include Tom Brady, to include Peyton Manning. He was in a quarterback-driven league, and in that league, he could impose his will on it and lead the troops and galvanize his folks, man. And Unfortunately, we caught one of those strays in the Super Bowl. We played against them when they turned the lights out in New Orleans. But that's Mr. Raven. Honorable mention, another one, Jonathan Ogden. Jonathan Ogden was excellent as well, man. Jonathan Ogden was a beast. T Sizzle was nice, but man, come on, it's Ray Lewis.
It's Ray Lewis. You're right. It's 100% Ray Lewis. Anybody that says otherwise would be relatively shocking. But I said last time we were on the show that I had this interesting take on the future GOAT of the Ravens, and I think 5 years from now, it's going to be Lamar Jackson. It's going to be Lamar Jackson. He's going to be the greatest Raven. Because if you think about the Ravens, it's kind of like with the Steelers, for example. They have great quarterbacks and stuff like that. Or some of these like teams don't actually have a quarterback that stands out, but they've been successful at times, right? Or they have all that stuff. Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP, right? All pro. He's on the path to being and you, like you said, quarterback takes so much of like credit when it comes to wins and losses and greatness and things of that nature. And like come pretty much what you said earlier about quarterbacks and stuff, where they get way more of the front runner to be the GOAT based on what they've done. And if Lamar Jackson wins a Super Bowl, especially if he wins a Super Bowl, he's going to be the face of the Ravens in the future. And a lot of teams and a lot of like new fans, or like fans that are young right now, who are like 12 years old, 10 years old, 13 years old, 5 years from now, when they're 18 and 20, they're going to make videos and fight and argue how Lamar Jackson is the face and Ray Lewis no longer is. I think Ravens fans in the future are going to say it's Lamar Jackson for sure. I feel like that's what's going to end up happening. Right now, it's Ray Lewis for sure. Yeah. But with Lamar Jackson being a quarterback and having the 2 MVPs that he has and the All-Pro at that, the only thing that's holding back Lamar Jackson's legacy right now, and it's a big deal, is the playoffs, where he's not playing. He's doing the Dak Prescott thing, just not showing up in these playoffs and playing great in these playoffs and things of that nature. So it's just that's the thing that's holding him back. But I feel like Ravens fans, and I'm not saying I will, because I'll probably still think Ray Lewis is the GOAT. Like that's me personally. But this is just my theory, that I think Ravens fans in the future are going to fight for Lamar Jackson to be that guy. So I think Lamar Jackson is a future face of the franchise, especially with him being a quarterback. And quarterbacks tend to take more precedent than any other player, even if they have more All Pros like Ray Lewis does, and the 2 Super Bowls that he has. So. And Clea says that Ray has 2 Super Bowls. Great. But Super Bowls does not necessarily mean that you just it's part of it. Like it's part of the accolades. It is part of, like I said, if Lamar Jackson wins a Super Bowl, he becomes that GOAT because of how polarizing he is, the MVPs that he has, and the All Pros conquers Ray Lewis's 2 Super Bowls, I think, at that point. Because, like I said, he's a quarterback, not a linebacker, not a running back, not a wide receiver or anything like that. So I think that in the future, Lamar Jackson is going to be the GOAT. And that may or may not be a hot take, but he's like regular season wise, MVP, All Pros. The only thing he's missing is that success in the playoffs. And if he gets that figured out, I think, he's going to be that guy in the future.
Could be Ray. Yeah. Just because of the excitement and the position. And we move forward with time, and it could happen, but
and he's done great things. It's not like he's being carried. It's not like Lamar is being carried. He's actually doing incredible things. So I do think that Lamar is. It's just. It sounds like I'm dissing Ray Lewis, and I'm trying to I'm not, because I am saying he is the GOAT, but I just think that with the new generation. And with his success, and that if he could just get that Super Bowl in the position that he has, everyone wants to face their franchise to be a quarterback. Like, let's be real. Like, if Jerry Rice wasn't as great as he was, it would be Joe Montana. Like, that's how great Jerry Rice was. And I just think that I think Lamar Jackson being as electric as he is now, as great as he is, and stuff like that, there's a future where I could see that him being the GOAT. So for the Ravens, because everyone wants the quarterback to be that guy.
So. They do. They favor this quarterback-driven league. Winning rings adds more to the resume, more than most. Lamar needs at least 2 rings to be on par with Ray and Ed Reed. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that too. Wolf is kind of giving you his early projections, and if it does happen, if and when it does happen, as a quarterback, it's gonna weigh heavy. It's gonna weigh real heavy. He'll, as a purist for me, in the position of linebacker, and from a defensive perspective, I'm a defensive-minded dude. That's me. It's always gonna be Ray for me. It's always gonna be a defensive guy for me because I unless you just extraordinary Superman, like it's got to be a defensive guy, and I'll keep Ray as my GOAT for the Ravens. But the way the era is moving, the way the fantasy football numbers, everything, everybody loves the quarterback. They simply do, and I'm thinking of generations behind me. You're going to give more adage to that quarterback than you will defenders or even wide receivers or running backs. So
I'm glad you understand where I'm coming from. Like, I'm not like it doesn't, like, Ray Lewis did great things, man. Like, I understand that, but it's just quarterbacks, man. And the MVP thing is such a big deal. Like, he's won 2.
Oh yeah,
he got snubbed for that 3rd one, which is huge. He's an electric, polarizing player. He does unique things. It's quite literally just that playoff performance thing that's such an issue. That honestly, I think that if he just won a Super Bowl already, he would be that face. And I think a lot of Ravens fans would fight for that and be like, "Hey, I love Ray Lewis, man. He's great." But Lamar Jackson,
we all about Lamar now, boy, Lamar, man. And then when you can remember signature plays and when you saw them, that it gets indelible to the heart. And as Raven fans, man, they can remember when he was playing Cincinnati and he spun and the 2 guys slammed into each other. All of these memories of Lamar just doing this and doing that. And again, for me personally, it's always going to be Ray, because Ray was like one of their first draft choices in the move. Because initially, Baltimore, the Ravens were the Cleveland Browns. They upped and moved and came as a startup.
Yeah.
Here, it's a pop-up. That's a pop-up franchise. And for him to come in, go through what he went through down in I think it was 1999. It was Super Bowl 1999. It was an ice storm in Richmond. And the next morning it came out, man, Ray done killed somebody. It was like, oh, he wasn't even playing. He's like, yeah, it was him and a couple other dudes. And he had to go through his trial or whatever. And some people will still say, oh, he killed a guy and got away with it. But it was, I think, and with the judgment that came on hand, it was obstruction of justice, because Ray knew what went down, but he won't snitch it. He won't say it. I was with dude. And one of my guys got a little rambunctious. You know how Eddie is, but it's going to be the narrative in people's minds on the negative, and that ain't nothing you can do about it. But he went through that, came back, and Baltimore stood by Ray Lewis. They would, get him his defense. I don't know if he paid for it or they paid for it, whatever. But it showed Brian Billick and them coming to court with him the whole time. And they stood by him. Then when he came out, he said, for standing by me like y'all did, I'm going to give you everything I got for the next 10, 15 years, as long as I play. And he ain't disappoint. He did not disappoint. So he's just that guy to me.
People in the chat are saying that Joe Montana is the greatest 49er. It's Jerry Rice. And people are saying it's a hot take. If you say Joe Montana, I wouldn't say it's a hot take if you pick Joe Montana. But I would debate you saying no, it's Jerry Rice. Like he's
and this is furthering your point. as great as Jerry Rice is, and you and I know, I got the man's book, and I know his birthday, October 13th, 1962. Crawford, Mississippi. I got the stats down in my mind of 1,549 receptions, 22,895 yards. People will still look at the quarterback and say, "What about Joe Montana?" And this is what you were saying. As a quarterback, they lean towards quarterback, and they just do. But
so I wouldn't, like you said, I wouldn't say like you're wrong or like you're stupid for picking Joe Montana or anything like that. He is the quarterback. He was before Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time. Jerry Rice is still the greatest wide receiver of all time. So people out in the chat that was valuing being the best at something, Jerry Rice would be the number one guy, because
every debate starts with that. If you talk about the best of the best, the GOATest of the GOATest at a position, everybody else is here for second place when you're talking receiver. You'll start at second, but who's your GOAT receiver, your top 5 GOAT receivers of all time? Okay, 2 through 4 or 2 through 5. It ain't no debate on who's number 1. It's simply it. But
Jerry Rice is also talked about as not just the greatest of his position, but just of all football players.
Of all football.
Like, he's just considered one of the greatest football players of all time. And people have him as his number 1. Not even non-49ers fans do. So I think respect like that just kind of puts you above the records, the position of respect of where you're at, and the conversation of, like, are you the greatest player of all time?
We talk about players. We talk about players, Kyle.
Yeah,
we know he's the greatest coach of all time, in my opinion. Bill Walsh. Easy. It ain't no debate. Or he can really debate. Coaches. I'm sure New England will say something. The Packers will say something. The Dolphins will say something. It ain't but one that's got a perfect season, and the most wins. The Cowboys will say something. Tom Landry, 29 years. But we know what that is as far as coaching. But players, that's my dude, Jerry Rice.
If you have Jerry Rice at 5, I don't know who you are. You've got to be just a bona fide hater putting him at 5. Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
You're no longer qualified to be on the show. Womp, womp, womp. You can leave now. You all can go home now. Good night.
Yeah, I'm not going to take anything you say seriously. I'm sorry. Like, I can't have a conversation with you if you put me at 5.
Look at Papa J. He said Ronnie Bell is honorable mention.
Ronnie Bell, yeah. I mean, he's in the headlines enough, right? We do talk about him enough, especially back then. Greatest 2024 player of all time.
Yes. I ain't even got to come back at that. I can't outdo that. I can't outdo that. Last up, speaking of the greatest of all time, Wolfie, it rises and sets on the immaculate, the irrepressible, the undeniable Jim Brown for the Cleveland Browns. Jim gets so much respect that you've just, if you weren't in that generation, go back and look at film and hear the greats of said generation tell you what the immortal Jim Brown was. These are some of his stats from 1957 to 1965.
104 yards a game, dude. It's crazy.
This man, this mug just
crazy work.
Led the league in rushing. And these are, you see the first 4 years, these are 1, 2, 3. These are 4 12 game seasons. And then they went to 14 games. This dude getting 1,500, 1,863, 1,408, 1,257, 1,329, 1,527. Had a couple of off years with 996 and 942. The man averages 5.2 yards a carry for his career, which means you could give the ball to Jim Brown twice and get a first down all the way down the field. Yeah. Just give it to Jim. 104 yards a game. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Some of the best rushers that have ever played maybe get to 80, 85. This dude averaged 104 yards a game. The stories are just tremendous. The respect my dad and them gave him, I came up in the 70s. I liked Tony Dorsett. I liked OJ and who else was out there? Eric Dickerson later on in the 80s and stuff like that. Dad said all of them hey, can't nobody touch Jim Brown, man. Can't nobody even, don't worry about it. Everybody's in second place. When Barry Sanders goes to the Hall of Fame, thank you, Papa J. His dad said, Barry, you the second greatest running back of all time. That man right there in that gold jacket was the first. It won't nothing like him, Wolfie. It just won't fit. Y'all got to think in terms of his size as proportionate to the players he was playing with. You got to think Derrick Henry running as fast as, I don't know who's it looked like Derrick Henry running as fast as Tyreek Hill, and people bouncing off you like Mike Allstott. It was a man amongst boys, and they give homage to Jim. Like I said, man, at the Gold Jacket, the Ray Nitschke dinner, another great linebacker for the Packers. They give homage to the newcomers that are coming into the Hall of Fame. Every year you have the Ray Nitschke dinner. They have dinner with nothing but gold jackets there. And when Jim Brown steps on the scene, all of them will collectively stop, rise to their feet, and applaud when Jim Brown comes to the dinner. Yeah. That's the respect that man garnered. It won't nothing like it. Let me see it. I had to include a little B-roll in there, unless you wanted to go first, Wolfie. You can, if you wanted to say something.
I just want to say a couple things, because obviously mine is Jim Brown too. But I just want to say two things I noticed about these stats. One, why is he put it as a fullback? Two, I will say he's got a lot of fumbles. He's fumbled a lot.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not trying to dig on. I'm not trying to but I just noticed that if that is that right? Like 7, 5, 2, 9, 6, 9, 7, 6.
I don't know. That's
Wolfie, fumbles.
Wolfie, did you ever notice that the Mona Lisa doesn't have eyebrows?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think
when you're looking at a great piece of art, I don't look at the flaws.
You gotta admit that's pretty bad.
I look at it. I
do. Like, I'm not saying he is the greatest. He is the greatest Brown ever. He's one of the greatest running backs of all time. Obviously, he was in my top 5. But I just noticed the fumbles. That's crazy. I just noticed the fumbles as well.
Yeah. Let's just take a gander at what somebody called his 5 best runs of the great Jim Brown. That was at number 5. He trucked everybody and went. This is him just getting it done, man. Them grown men out there. It won't no hitting a defenseless receiver. No, you hit him too hard. You can't hit with your head. Nothing like that. I think they didn't even call piling on. It was just magic in motion. The great Jim Brown just made 32 a staple. Holding that thing one hand and dare you to try to pull it out.
Because look at the way he's holding that rock, dude. It's scaring me because he's just like this. I'm sorry. You're not wrong. Like, these are great runs. These are great runs. But just like the way it looks like the way he holds the ball, dude, it's scaring me.
Pro Bowl. Look at them bounce off of this dude, man. And then just the acceleration on this thing, man. Jim Brown. And then if you need hands, Jim will catch that thing, man. I think this one went for 70 or 80. Yeah, he had the 20 right there. Jim Brown, man.
Ooh,
everything
damn.
You want. Jim Brown.
Okay,
Jim
that was good. Damn. See, now he's tucking in the ball. That's good. All right, he's tucking it. All right, there we go.
Great Jim Brown.
That was a good run, though.
Great Jim Brown. That's it. Hey, that's my dude. That is my dude. As far as Terradome, as for us in this house, we shall worship greatness. Jim Brown is that.
Yeah,
he's the dude.
Yeah, he was good. I've seen those highlights before. That last run was pretty dope. That was pretty good. The catch, not run, but yeah, I agree. Jim Brown's that guy for sure. Like
played one season with a broken wrist. Think about that. A broken wrist. Retired after a pretty short career. And man, then after retirement, this dude takes off. This man in 1965 was kissing Raquel Welch on the silver screen, and nobody said a thing. A black man kissing that white woman who was the staple of everything. Nobody better say nothing. That Jim Brown. Black, white, Chinese, Puerto Rican, Asian, Hispanic. Jim Brown set Bloods and Crips together at his house. Man, and came away with a truce. Jim Brown was just God rest his soul, man. Rest in power, Jim Brown. That my dude. That's my hot take. And it ain't so hot, but I
don't think it's hot. Yeah, I don't think you're hot. Yeah, I think you're good.
The truth.
Yeah.
Mick Mallow, he's hyped up. He's ready to go. Juan in the building. What's up, Juan? What he said? On a side note, Purdy has thrown 2 picks so far, but Watkins did beat Patrick Surtain for a deep touchdown. All right, they keeping up with the stuff. It's like the
Broncos defense is going to be great this year.
Yeah. Thanks for all the players, 49ers. We're enjoying it. Who else, man? I think they got like McGlinchey. They got
Greenlaw,
DJ,
but I don't think he's practicing.
Greenlaw, Hufanga. It's just a lot of Niners that go.
DJ Jones, former 49er there.
DJ Jones, yeah.
So yeah, I'm not going to take. I know that's the hype is like what is what are people doing in practice and stuff like that, and reacting to it accordingly. But I don't take for Brock Purdy himself, and I'm not trying to find justifications for his picks and stuff, but Brock Purdy's a gunslinger, and I do expect him to throw some picks here and there, especially in practices and stuff. That's just his thing. So yeah, and not to mention that defense is supposedly is going to be better, like passing game wise, than the 49ers, like defensively. So now Brock Purdy's actually going to go up against this defense today and tomorrow, I'm assuming. If Brock Purdy continues to throw interceptions tomorrow, then I'll be like, okay, take stock in that's not good. You got to say what it is. That's not good. But like the start of practice against a new defense you haven't seen before with no film on them, then you're going to be like, okay, it's first day, not that big of a deal. But if you start stacking it, then I guess that's kind of something you'd be like, okay, that's not good. Because you've seen like a quarterback throw 5 interceptions one day, and then literally the next day they go 12 for 12. You know what I mean? So it's just one day doesn't. It's kind of like 1 year doesn't define a player, 1 day of practice doesn't define a player.
Hey, I hate the term gunslinger because that was Brett Favre, and Brett Favre was pretty reckless with that ball. So Brock, just calm down and take what they give you. Don't be out here being loose, playing with that football fast and loose, man. That's the quickest way to get on my bad side. Don't be out here throwing that thing, man. Don't
we're getting
Warren Sapp used to say the church money on the ground and the pastor don't like that. And don't turn this ball over. Don't get in the habit of that.
so we're getting live updates from the chat, which is good.
Chat.
Shout out to the Wolfpack.
Shout out to the
Strawberry React says it's not 11 on 11s yet, so that's different. And
Oh,
one of the 2 interceptions was Carter Bradley, so that is different. That is different.
Shout out to my chat. Shout out to my chat. Let's go give them a
Gotcha,
round. Keeping us up, keeping us safe. The chat.
But yeah, those are our goats. Those are
goats for the AFC.
North.
Are we out of divisions? Have we done them all?
I don't think we did. What's all we also had NFC West. We did the NFC East. Did we do the South? Yeah, we did the South.
Yeah, we did the South. Maybe the AFC West.
I don't think we've done.
I don't remember us doing the greatest Raider, greatest Charger, greatest Chief.
Yeah, I don't think we've done that one.
Yeah, we did. All right, that'll be the last installment, and I comprised the list, and because I think we agreed on virtually everything except for Jacksonville. Jacksonville, you went with Baselli, and I went with Fred Taylor. Yeah, but for the most part, yeah, it was.
Yeah, I expected that. Like, if the player really is the GOAT of it, like, you would have consensus, like, okay, for sure. So most likely we're going to land on the same players for sure.
Yeah.
We pretty much landed on the same player when it came to the Steelers. I would pick Mean Joe Green just like you did. Bengals, we were the same thing. Jim Brown, Ray Lewis, right? You know, those things like that. But yeah, this has been a great series. I actually really enjoyed looking at this, doing research on players and stuff.
That's flavor.
Find out. I knew Bruce Matthews was good, but I didn't know he was that good.
Yeah, you came to me with that one. I was like, wow. I was gonna go Aaron McNair, but I said, hold on. Good Lord.
Years, like 12 All Pros and shit. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, man. So I think that's the only one, because I knew there was one we haven't done, and that it's the Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, and what's the other team? Chiefs, Raiders,
Chargers,
Broncos.
Yeah. So that
that's
Broncos pretty easy for me.
What's that?
Broncos. I said Broncos. No, I gave Mezzo Shannon on this one.
It's gonna be Bo Nix. The way people are talking about Bo Nix these days, just because he flashed some good. I thought he played good, and I think Bo Nix is being a little overhyped. He had some good moments. He looked great and stuff, but like, I don't think he did anything elite or phenomenal or anything like that last year. Where I feel like what happens is people had an expectation of Bo Nix. Everyone thought Bo Nix was gonna be trash. I didn't think so. I actually thought he looked pretty good to me. Like, I was like, okay, he has potential to be a good quarterback, I think. But the consensus was that Bo Nix was going to be trash and not good. And this was a terrible pick for the Broncos. And I think he beat that expectation and cleared it. And so it's causing everyone to be like, oh, Bo Nix is this guy, this guy, this guy. I'm like, slow down. He had a good year. Not great, not elite. He was just good. Like, that's about it. Like, I feel like everyone's comparing, because we all know comparisons like the death of whatever, but like, you're comparing the expectation to what he actually did. And I don't think, like, I think we need to calm down a little bit with the Bo Nix. Like, he's good, not elite. People put him people have them as the like top 10 quarterback right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you doing? No, he's not top 10. You want to put him between 15 and 20? Sure. I would put him there for now. He could get better in the future, but I do think that, you know, right now, talking about him being like a 12, 11 quarterback is crazy to me. But people are doing that. I don't like that.
When I watched him in college, man, I liked him. I liked him a lot.
Yeah, he was good in college. I don't know why.
Very solid. And I think what people are looking at, which is very close to Brock Purdy, is given his situation, his coach, his abilities, and his personnel, he could do some things. Will he light the league on fire? Is this a future MVP, Super Bowl winning Super Bowl champion? I can't say that, but he's more than capable of getting them to the playoffs, and then it's a whole new season. We don't. Once I get to the playoffs, boy, I'm dancing. It, we wipe the slate, and now we're just gonna match up, and we're gonna see what we see. And that's all you can ask in the NFL. You ain't a bum. You ain't a this guy can't even read a defense. I think Bo Nix is pretty adequate. I got to give it to another one. I'm a Shador Sanders guy. I think Shador is going to do okay. He already was
tomorrow. It's preseason tomorrow. He starts tomorrow.
Fifth round pick and came deep on the depth chart, but now he's starting the preseason game tomorrow against Carolina. Yeah, that's gonna be
that. If you want views, right, as a content creator, if you want views, I'm gonna make videos on it because it's gonna be views, right? I got videos on it. About the game tomorrow. I'm gonna make some views, be like if he was good or bad. I'll make my assessment or whatever, but I'm gonna make look out, guys. Just let you guys know now. I'll probably make 2 or 3 videos about Shador Sanders. I try to stay away from purposely, I know what's going to get me views. Talking about Shador Sanders is going to get you views, for sure. And so tomorrow, I'm sorry, guys, but I'm going to make a couple videos on Shador Sanders. Good or bad. Just depends on how well he does. If he does great, I'll talk good things. If he does bad, I'll do bad things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, look out for a couple of videos.
I can't blame it. It's the hot story. It's the hot story in the NFL. And if you follow the NFL as a fan, everybody's seeing a Shador Sanders thing. I think the kid got robbed and jobbed, when the draft was happening because I watched his workout. I'm a Cam Ward dude. I'm a Deion Sanders dude. I've been following the kid since he was at the HBCU. Since even before that, when Deion had him out there working with Tom Brady. I'm like, just this he's getting groomed to play. Deion Sanders, if y'all didn't know, was a quarterback initially. I think he played it in Little League and a little bit in high school. Deion Sanders, nobody looking at. He's the greatest corner that ever played. And, it's going to be, what would they say? The fruit will be known from the tree. That tree can speed dial anybody in the National Football League and any contributor at any time. Say, hey, man, can you show my son what middle field open is and middle field closed? Can you come on over? Man, Deion, I'll be there tomorrow. Hey, can you work with my sons, man? I think my voice a little stale. Tom Brady, can you come by? Peyton Manning, you doing anything, man? Come over and holler about. Hey, it is what it is. But for him to go through what he went through, even Donald Trump, our president, and not making this a political affiliation, but you have the president of the United States coming up, tweeting, saying, hey, what the hell's going on with Shador Sanders? That's when you know something just amiss. And hey, man, the kid's I think he's going to get out there. He's going to have a decent career. Maybe not initially because it's Cleveland. And this is where quarterbacking goes to die. No matter who is there. They got that jersey with all the names of it. Was it 30 names since?
There's a lot. There's 32.
2000. Yeah. It's just something they on a burial ground somewhere to it just don't work out in Cleveland, man. As far as football, it didn't for basketball before LeBron James got there finally his second time. But it's just something with that organization. It just, what is that? I don't know what it is, but I think the kid can play. I think the kid.
It's got something to do with the owner too. I'm for sure about it.
He's not the most popular guy. First, he drove up the price with the guarantee contract to Deshaun. Deshaun plummets and gets hurt and stuff like that. Now, he would have picked.
You want to talk about being on an Indian burial ground somewhere? It's probably the freaking Browns, dude.
That's that Cleveland Browns on the Indian ground, boy. I'm telling you.
Dude. The quarterback. Yeah, so. All right.
All right, my brother.
I gotta get out of here, but I want to say one thing before you do the goodbye stuff, I want to listen to a whole conversation, but stop throwing doodles on the courts at WNBA games. Stop it. Okay? That's ridiculous. One time was funny. Second time, okay, you're pushing it. 3 times now? Stop it. Okay? I don't know who's doing that. Stop throwing doodles on the court at WNBA games. Okay, enough.
This was a public service announcement by Wolfie.
We do the like, go get yourself tested and stuff like that. My PSA this week is stop throwing doodles on courts. I know.
Yeah. We're correcting it for our younger viewers.
Trying to, really censor the best I can.
We're being respectful, but yes, it's that word. We're just trying to be cool.
Stop throwing crotch rockets, okay? You gotta stop doing that.
He called him crotch rocket.
Yeah.
Well, this goes under the I did not expect that. My wife is laughing at me right now. The producers on the show are in my ear saying go ahead and wrap this up. Papa J on the PSA is saying it's unsanitary. And may I say a little unsavory.
Yes, dude. Yeah.
This man, dude. Man, Wolfie done broke him up. I can't follow that. Let me just go ahead and say Wolfie will be back together again Tuesday, 12 noon. We're shooting for it. It'll be around that time. I'm gonna cut up some shorts. I'm sure this one may be in there somewhere. Y'all check for my shorts. Get me some more views. It has been wonderful as always, and when we cut the show down, it's just 2 hours and 31 minutes. Me and the Wolf Dog.
30 minutes. 30 minutes off. I mean,
we 30 minutes. We're getting better, Wolfie. I'm gonna get the clock, and we're gonna try to try to get it better.
We're gonna have to actually get the clock.
I get other people say, "Go, y'all still going?" Yeah, that's us. Me and Wolfie love talking. Thank y'all, everybody in the chat, man. Big Brick came in with it. My man told me check my DMs, and he said Pat Surtain forced incompletion versus Ricky Pearsall. Then Ricky came back and won every one-on-one matchup after that. Very, very good. Those are good signs. I want Ricky P to get out there and ball. Ricky P, man, we're depending on your patches. Do some wonderful things. And thank y'all all for the updates as we are watching camp. I'm going to see if I can get on and check out a couple updates. They need to put this on pay-per-view when we have these joint practices or something like that. And if you do, now that I have mentioned it twice, make sure you cut that check to that Negro has a good eye. Send it to P.O. Box 456789. I want my check, NFL. Y'all buying up, ESPN's buying up NFL Network and the Red Zone and all that good stuff. So while y'all moving the money, throw it on to the kid. Throw it on to the kid. And remember, everybody, we walk by faith and not by sight. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank y'all for coming out.